Oi, oi. Flat Earth British, martinliedtke speaking. Welcome to Flat Day. Buckle in, guys. This is going to dazzle all of you. I just can't even emphasize how much rich juicage will overflow Earth in this vlog. It's going to be crazy shit. You are really good at this stuff, guys. I must say, this is fantastic stuff. I am super duper excited. It's been stoked all day, ready to bring the juice home to the Flat Earth British crew. You buzzing? I am. I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing because I know my whole purpose of my existence to serve the Most High, and the reasons that I do what I do, and all of the hours that we put into this. And what we're going to talk about is, yay, hi Campbell, autodidactic. And all of you guys, much love to you all. Make sure to please share this out, because YouTube, they've gone, it's just rubbish and weird lately, but we will persevere. We're not really bothered. It's whatever, isn't it? Because the place is, in fact, a madhouse. This is probably the last bastion of sanity you could probably find anywhere with like-minded people. Thankfully, because they just, well, you know what they're like. Didn't need me to tell you. You can't really talk to them, can you? They're all so we won't go there. Anyway, love and higher vibration wins the day, guys. We are absolutely smashing it. And at the end of this post tonight, you will think to yourself, yeah, we are definitely smashing it. And you will probably lay there thinking about all of the things that I've told you about tonight. On Flat Day. So as you can see by the title of this vlog, mind-blowing all of this, mind-blowing, is New Atlantis, the archangels of Scuttled Earth. Now, as I said, I'm going to make some, what you may call, if you're sort of a normie, outlandish sort of, which I don't think is a hypothesis at all. Beyond that, I will offer the evidence in the way of ancient manuscripts, texts, for you to chew over yourself, to come to some decision for yourself, or whether or not what I am proposing is in fact true, because it is mind-blowing. But coincidentally, also many ancient fragments that we can sort of, I was going to say trust, but like, you know, this is the problem with the internet at the moment, isn't it? I was mentioned the fact that this huge fuckery going on at the moment in the YouTube and on the internet of so much confusing information is making everyone go again. All mixed in, and AI fuckery, as you know, with the images. I discovered some this week that I prayed were true, but on some, you know, closer scrutiny and a little bit of research, found out that they were mostly AI generated, unfortunately. So I'm seeing this increased, which is dangerous. But the beautiful thing about Flat Earth British is I've got like oogles of our own stuff, because I save all of the documents and all of the texts and books that I ever come across, and I got thousands, and I work off them rather than unchanged, fucked with, weird now internet. So I'm going back to maybe before all of that weirdness goes down in my text and stuff. Some of them have gone missing, but others I hid well. I know what I'm doing. So anyway, what we're going to be talking about is Atlantis, as you can see in the post. But what has happened in this realm? How did it become so fucked and so evil? And why are we all paying taxes, and why are we all a slave bitch for the 1%? You're probably all wondering and scratching your balls, or not, if you're not got any. And then I discovered and read this book this week, which has blown my mind, by Francis Bacon. Oh dear. What a sinister, creepy, skin-crawling fucking book this is. It goes into quite some detail of how they torture you in this book into, basically, if you have no fear of death, they try to give you a fear of death to make you believe, don't you know? It's a manifesto. It's a template for all of this, the trading, the banking system, the fluid system that we are all undergoing. Okay, I'm going to cover it all with you and explain how all of this has gone down, and 3 important books which tell you what this place actually is. And the perps, which we say are the Phoenicians. Okay, and where did they arrive from? We say the watery depths. Well, I think going on through some of these documents, I think they did come through the water. They come from the water above, and then they landed in the sea. They had craft. You see so many of these classical themes, Ovidian themes, where they show you the chariots, the winged horses, the winged boots, and everyone seems to be able to have the ability to fly, as we've been talking about on these posts for quite some time. But the classical theme itself sort of tells you, and it does tell you, that they have come from a place that is above the firmament, is in water. The fluid sky is mentioned many in these documents. A place that they regard as heaven. Okay, heaven. Let's have a think about heaven and hell narrative. Personally, myself, okay, I say this: fuck them both. Okay, fuck heaven, right? Because when I read all of the ancient texts of religion, like the Holy Bible, the Veda, or any of these, everything seems to get wiped out from some source that always emanates from heaven, like not really emanating from hell. There's always this heavenly host, or these heavenly fucking having you lot and wiping you all out, reset people, if that's what they are, from above, from a watery realm above. So what are we in? Well, according to the classical theme, we're in some sort of vessel, okay, a ship. We have citizenships. We are in a ship, some sort of ark, as in Noah's Ark, because Noah's flood hasn't long happened. And if you're wondering what age we are in now, we're in the Dark Ages. We are in the Middle Ages right now. Okay. How do I know? Because the Archangel Michael is showing himself to many people. And this only happens in the time of tribulation. This only happens when they say the second coming. But I'm not talking about the second coming of a bearded individual. I'm talking about the second coming of our awakening, Christ consciousness, Krishna consciousness, or whatever you want to call it, when we light up, is coming. And they can't stop that. They know that. That's why they're playing for time with all of this ludicrous, childish behavior with space stuff, you know, moonwank. Have you seen it this week? I'm not even going to comment upon it. Anyway, so this book is more mind-blowing than you could actually imagine, guys, because I'm glad I read it now and not earlier on with less understanding. I had to read it twice because it's in Middle English and a lot of it is those and thous, but I got the gist of it all and I will pass it to you. But what it talks about is you're getting lost. It starts with they go on a voyage from across the Pacific and they get lost in the Southern Oceans and they discover a land. Now, it's a template, as I said, for how they actually, you know, implement this Phoenician paradigm, which we are living in right now, through absolute cruelty. They state that this island, they actually state that they build all of these Solomon houses, which are the Greco-Romano buildings, to imitate Atlantis, because the people who survived Atlantis, which there were, because Atlantis, to me, I've stated it is America in the past because there's documentation to support that. I will go a little bit further and I would say Atlantis is here, right here and in the now, is what I'm stating. It could be that it is they come from the sky and they go under the water. They could be underwater places, cities, if you like, or whatever. But I really do think that Atlantis is a place and is here. So these places that Francis Bacon talks about, they had no poor, they had no poverty. But what you read about chapter after chapter is the emphasis on orphans, These islands, or this land that he talks about, is remote and it's kept quiet from the outside world and completely unknown. At first, I thought he was talking about maybe Samoa, something like that. But on geographical explanation, he doesn't give you the coordinates. He's talking like the Southern Ocean. He's talking about somewhere else completely, and which I just blew my head off anyway. And the emphasis is to rob a world. These guys are pirates, okay? This craft, this ark, okay, which is protected by archangels. Each one of us are protected by these. They've been sent here by the Most High to protect us. And we are lost at sea. They tell us in the narrative, as I'll explain shortly, and we've been scuttled. We've been scuttled, probably capsized, okay? And there is, when they mention the savior, saving you from what? And save our souls, SOS. I always did wonder about that when I was younger. Now it's all starting to make sense. So we're going to dig into some of the earliest manuscripts that we can get hold of for what they say is the real history. They say that the Christian Bible has been tampered with by Jews, etc., and it's been dictated by certain denominations of churches and therefore not accurate. But there are others, like the books of, as you know, Enoch, which also talks about waters above and this other worldly race from above the firmament. And we don't know what's below us either, by the way. So these ancient fragments take the Assyrian, the Babylonian, the Persian, the Egyptian, the Phoenician, and the Carthaginian and the Chaldean accounts from. They only got remnants, but it gives us the earliest view that we have of pre-flood and post-flood times. But it is really bringing it all very, very close, guys, that this stuff happened not really long ago. And it tells you that it is the real history. But chillingly, they do state in this one document I give you, the Phoenicians very much are in control and today, and their ultimate aim is to bring on a mystical sacrifice. A mystical sacrifice that is yet to come, is what they say in that book. I study a little bit of the book Astra Casta, which talks about clairvoyance with us all. That's something else that they've been keeping down. They do not want us to be able to communicate together without the internet. We're going to have a clairvoyant game later, and I'm going to send a psychic transference across to you all. I will guide you, and you can guess what is in there. Not now, not now. Later on, later on. We're going to talk about star thoughts. Okay, we're going to start to talk about basically one that I've come across that's been blitzed and some newspaper evidence for a strange weapons test early on. So we're going to talk about that later on as well. We're going to have little competitions. We're going to have some little thinky things. We've got comedy. We may have a visit from, a member of the Tartarian Liberation Army. He's actually an Irishman. His name is Seamus McLufthansa is his name. We may have a visit from him later. And 1,000 things besides. In fact, if I could break this down into probably about 20 videos. But later on, a video special I made for you of aesthetic art. It's the best art I can find out there. It's not all pervy, some of it is. But it will be accompanied by classical music and my interpretation of what is going on. And I found some important wows that some of you will be pimp up your star thought. Nice one. We'll have some star thoughts in this as well. Some of you, it'll be, holy fuck, my brain is melting. Some others of you may not like bounce on you the same way. But we got a lot to get through. It's been a busy week of flat earth British think tanking. If you had any idea, oh my, it's well worth it. Right, how many of you turned up? 400. Okay, YouTube are shit. Okay, everybody's watching my 5-month-old videos and can't seem to find my new ones because there's no guidelines or rules with YouTube. They just like change everything every single freaking day and break it. It was fantastic years ago, and now it's really shit, as everyone knows. They're making it unfavorable, hard to use in every regard. But anyway, look beyond that. Please share this out. Okay, helps the algorithm. Like if you do like this video. If I've later on, okay, we're gonna have an emotional time together. Okay, we're gonna feel cozy, warm. We're gonna appreciate the loving things in life. I'm gonna just take you on a martinliedtke ride. Okay, you're gonna really love it. Okay, you up for that? Okay, make sure to share this out, as I said. Right, let me get myself orientated because I have a lot of information to get through. Happy Flatter Day, my brother Dave. There's Psycho Dave there. He's in the house. Oh, excuse me, I missed him. Oh, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? He's there. So, George, good to see you. Mama Wolf, good to see you. India, good to see you looking. S. Coop. Yes, I cooked a beautiful dinner. I am a fantastic cook, actually, S. Coop. I really am. Oliver Billy. Fritz. See my brother and Scott, and there he is, Psycho Dave. Hey, brother. Hippie Shake, sending love to you. In fact, this is how we're going to win this war. is basically we're going to bomb them with love bombs, bunny rabbits, to disarm them from their evil behavior and greedy ways, aren't we? I know they just, at this stage of the game, actually, it's so simple, isn't it? Just to be love and be acceptant and just be now and just not even think on them levels or even think on any levels, you know? Everyone's listening to brainwash chatter, isn't they? But the man said, and they said this, and they said that. You know, it's like, it's not altogether like really pussy nature, but it is in a way. You know, people should think for themselves. Since when where was this rule book that we had when we were young that said you must abide by the rules given to you by the man? See, I didn't read that book at all. I read the Fuck You Man book. That was quite good, by Abby Hoffman. Hi, Steve Rosa. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Sherry Ivers again. Good to see you. Jackie Wells. Hi from New Zealand. Don't fall off. Crypto Oldie. Good to see you. And this changing everyone's names to this handle things made it most weird because now I don't know who's commenting. Now I just get a jumble of freaking numbers. Ugh. Ravine, good to see you. India. It's lovely, India. Ippy. And so let's get you all feeling all happy and fantastic inside, okay? Be assured, okay? I guarantee. Oh, there's Sonia there. Neil and Carrios, good to see you. Capelocious. Clone. Wojo. Spread the words, okay? I actually feel sorry for him at this stage, okay? Yes, tartan kills. It does, especially if it's fed to you because it's material. It gets stuck in the digestive tract. Underground. Hi, my brother. Good to see you, Scott. A farmer. So, yeah, it's all really weird. We take no notice of that. What we do here is oogles and oogles of non-give-a-fuckness, okay? We enjoy the moment that we spend here together, okay? Yeah, well, I'm not a big fan of religion because it's more control of the mind, isn't it? You know, I don't need a guideline to actually tell me how to behave, really, because, you know, like I mentioned with confessions, it's like, have you been doing anything you shouldn't, Martin? You've been touching yourself and anything, because they want to know all them details, you see, when they're on the other side of that wooden thing for some weird reason. I don't even know. So yeah, you're not going to tell them all your shit anyway, because that's fucking weird. And it's all like Scientology, isn't it? So it's they can just blackmail you later or sniff your hair or something, you know, or something. So Angaina, intent to leave. Dallas Fowler. So yeah, I'm not big on religion. I'm not big on any of it anyway. Okay, let's get stuck into a trip through antiquity. The earliest, I guess, fragments and voices that we have. You know, we get the usual voices from antiquity, but these are only fragments. As I said, I've gone through Chaldean apocalyptic themes before, but they pretty much spell out what this place is, and it's all water. And there was more water here before. I mean, this was a thicker fluid air, but they do say that it is liquid sky, which I would go with. So happy Flat Day. Yeah, we're going to do a psychic transfer later, Steve Rossi. So get ready for that, all of you. And we're going to have little quizzes and all sorts of things, whatever I can get together. But I have made big efforts to dazzle you all. So thank you, Robert. Attack. Okay, Tycho. I don't know, Tycho. What do you think? I think it's just there, isn't it? And the moon, what is it? I don't even know. And at this stage of the game, I'm a sky denier. I can't even be bothered. Okay, leave what the moon's up to David Icke. He'll tell you all about it. Because I would just be claiming stuff that I couldn't possibly know. Because it's the biggest mystery of anything, isn't it? The moon. We don't know what the heck it is, and we don't know anything about it. So, what's the point in me just like, you know, pretending? I'm just saying. Anyway, time to present. Please share this out. We're going to go into some documentation. I'm going to fire through this first bit like the wind, but I will take my time to elaborate myself because there's quite a bit to go through. I'm going to give you the bullet points, the key points to emphasize the ideas which I've just explained to you. Okay. So, and thank you all for being here on what is Fantastic Flat Day. Right, we'll start here. YouTube are as stupid as shit. I'm just sorry, like, but this is what another 1,000 have watched this week because they not even know, and then they're commenting. for my old videos. You got to click this here, but YouTube don't tell you. And then there's all my videos. But if you put videos, no. 5 months old, home, no. Oh, except for that just come up. 5 months old. So it's piss poor now to navigate. And, you know, it really is stacked against us on YouTube. And that doesn't fucking help at all. Anyway, Phoenicians. Talked about them for years. There is a reason, and I will show you the reason in this. They don't know much about them. I think that we've come along as a think tank and found more out about these mystical sea peoples than anyone. And I'm including academia. I pick up the same sources, if not better than they do, guys. Yeah. And I will pick them apart like a great detective. They don't put that fucking effort in or any of the intent that I put in there into solving this fucking puzzle. So the Phoenicians, Noah's flood 1600, maybe a little bit earlier, not long ago. America, Atlantis, was something that I proposed there. You can see back in the past on Flat Earth British. And I offered documentation to say, but we are locked in the Phoenician paradigm, a watery paradigm. Your state birth certificate declares you dead already from the cradle to the grave. People are being robbed of their own birthright by their own governments. And that's all of us, guys. Okay. And we did it by consent, meaning we don't have to be. And that sounds really, really unflavorable to myself. I really don't feel that I want to go with all of that. Do you? Citizenship. There you go with a ship. Warship, citizenship. There's a million things with ship on the end. We'll tell you what this place is. Floating on the stock markets. Why would anyone want to be a slave, a subject, on a sinking ship or lost at sea? Okay, remember, this is the legal system and the financial system telling you you are lost at sea and you're dead in the water. Your birth certificate makes you their corpse, your corporate bond. They're certainly telling us that we're dead, guys, and they're telling us that we're dead in the water and we're lost at sea. SOS, save our souls indeed. This is this book. Absolutely mind-blowing. Now, if you know anything about Bacon, he was in the time of Elizabeth I, and he was basically set up the first police state, if you like. He's like Big Brother of the day. And this book definitely shows you the template for how they pull it off. It's absolutely blood curdling. It really is. And some of the, you know, what they do to the natives, some of these are called aborigines, funny enough, but I got evidence in this post that Americans are all called aborigine, but the word aborigine has the word gene in it, like gene, like genus. So I think there's something with that as well. Just dropped all my paperwork, which I need. So yeah, it's the platform, as I said, a template for monarchical government, and it's a voyage. It starts with, I'll go through the whole thing. I'll just give you some of the key points, right, to emphasize what I'm trying to say. So this fable of New Atlantis derives by that of Atlas in the Learning Lord of Bacon. So remember Bacon, he's a occultist. He's been known to do stuff like necromancy, and there's plenty of books on what he's been into. But this is, to the Queen, this is just mind-blowing and apparently true. So it first tells us of a ship which sailed from Peru to China by the South Sea, becoming windbound, and consequently their store of vitals being spent, ready for famine or fameth. But the next day's dawning discover a light of God's infinite mercy shrewing them an island into where's fair haven they stayed to enter. Approaching near it, they were first warned off by an officer who feared it might have infections, though afterwards receiving with all humanity for another person in the place and quality who examined them first to see if they were Christian. So what happens next? He say he wants to check if they're pirates. In the States, they renamed this place, guys. Yeah, they had houses there. These strangers had houses, large houses. At first, because they renamed it Solomina, that I thought they were on about the Solomon Islands, but they're not on about the Solomon Islands. And it's all fucking Atlantis. It's just the most mind-blowing book I've ever read. Is he on about the hidden lands? Because it states in here, unknown to the rest of the world and hidden knowledge is what it says. Okay? If I just pull that up for you. So, wrong paper. Fragments. So it tells you that basically this is the real history, okay, in New Atlantis. And, excuse me. Yeah, Solomina, and it built great cities on the divine principles of Solomon, okay, and Atlantis is what they state. Now, it states things like they go into, it's absolutely mind-blowing, actually. They keep going on about orphans all of the time and how they will suppress the population when they got no poverty. And they talk about these great buildings and this culture that they built in imitating Atlantis, because the people who are in this are survivors of Atlantis, apparently, or this knowledge is. So if I just take you to page 27, they just keep talking about this, like basically there's no poor, there's no poverty in this island, whatever it is. He talks about India as well. So I was like, they talk about the Indian Ocean and other British colonies as well. Although that is like so, ahead of the Raj, it's hard to even imagine what they're talking about, to be honest. So, excuse me. They talk about these great cities. They introduce universities and churches and basically the whole thing that you see now. So, and there's this big emphasis on to teach these poor young orphans. So they've like executed all their families, and they go into some detail. They said these people, they do not fear death, so we have to make them fear death. We give them the pain that we will give them the pain that they fear of death, like that, or like Inquisition, the crazy motherfuckers. It just goes on and on about producing orphans. It's in this guy's satanic, obviously. Because he mentions torture way too much for one book, and how they suppress peoples. It's just the most crazy thing. And they talk about it being an island so remote and no knowledge of it in the outside world whatsoever. So where exactly are they talking about? I do not know. I can't even imagine. So I'm thinking there could be that. They could be the classical world in these lands outside. They really could. So these Solomon's houses, as he calls them, made on divine principles, which are basically classical buildings and temples and ting. Okay, so that was the first book that I went through. But this one is the ancient fragments. And it's not the usual sources like Cicero, etc. It's these. Okay, and this book was from 1828. Quite early, but it even gives you the cosmology for the Phoenicians, which is a flat earth cosmology, obviously. The template for robbing a civilization, they actually state it. So who was ever here before, they flooded out, they entered in great fleets and took over what was this place. Okay, so now, these fragments are translated into foreign languages, into Greek, okay, quoted from sources from the Phoenicians, the Chaldeans, the Egyptians, as I said, the Turanians, Persians, and the Carthaginians, okay? And these are supposed to be some of the most trustworthy sources you can get. I'm guessing it's what academia would use. So what sort of things does it say? Okay, now, excuse me. Oh. So, excuse me. So they say they go into the details of the Phoenicians and their god, the first hierophant, their first god is the name of Chanu, and not actually Moloch or Babylon the Great, not according to this, but it's a much older god. This and it's akin to, well, it's related to Osiris, but we know the story of the alternative story of Osiris. We covered it before with Noah's journey across Asia. Ham is mentioned in it. But one thing it does state in here is Noah, as we mentioned before, is possibly or definitely a giant. But one thing I've never seen before, which sort of blew my head off, was Noah, here he is here, being literally compounded of a fish and a man. A fish and a man. It says that Noah was a fish and a man. Noah was a Phoenician. Noah was a merman. Noah was from the sea, and they built an ark, and we are very, very possibly still in that. And there's water all about, and there's water above, and this place is infinitely big, and it's all about shipping. And they just microcosm down the shipping world and the trading world that you see today in the plane. But really, there's a bigger, much bigger version that includes mining and everything else outside of this plane, and bigger people as well. So that's interesting. And it also just keeps going on about as well in this book, this Phoenician sacrifice to come, this Phoenician sacrifice to come. And it goes into a lot of detail of the post-Diluvian world and antediluvian world, I should say, and the world we're in now. And all of this is from the early 1800s, and it's like it was yesterday. But just mind-blowing. Everything in here. I obviously can't read it all because there's too much of it anyway. But moving on to the next. So this is what Wikipedia, or this is what the internet tell you about the Phoenicians. There's very little information. I've got a few books about them in Haiti, Phoenici, Venice, Phoenician. So they're around in the Bronze Age. So that is basically the Bible era. Or the Old Testament era, which lasted approximately from what they say BC, but we won't think about that right now. So anyways, from Greek, Cretan and Cantonese, people developed metallurgy, created impressive architectural monuments, became more complex tools, and seemed that humanity was advancing in leaps and bounds towards prosperity, but everything collapsed within a few years. So according to these books, Atlantis gained the peak of technology and only existed for around 100 years. Interesting. They're Atlanteans. The civilized people of Europe and Asia were attacked by a horde of people of the sea, barbarians on countless ships that burned and destroyed cities and villages, burned food, killed, and took people into slavery. After their invasion, ruins remained everywhere, like the classical world. Civilization was thrown back at least 1,000 years ago, and in once powerful and educated countries, writings disappeared. Many secrets of constitution of the work with metals were lost. And most mysterious thing is that after the invasion, the sea people disappeared as mysteriously as if they appeared. Scientists are still wondering who or where the people came from. Well, I think I know. I think they tell us. I think they tell us over and over and over again. This book here, this is Astra Casta. It goes into the details of what the sky is. It's from classical text, and it's deciphering them. It's the same classical text that they teach elite brats in university. It's the usual narrative, but it's all Phoenician. And what they do talk about is reset constantly. Okay. In fact, in this, they talk quite a bit about actually mudflood is what I think. So the seas shrinking and two sites disclose wide, naked plains where once their billows rose. Their rocks are all discovered and increase in number and scattered clades. Now, stop there. I'm not going to read no more in a minute. Now, if you remember, I talked about the rise and fall of Atlantis, like if it's sitting on the bottom of the ocean. Okay, but okay, let's think about it a little bit deeper. So the younger you are, the higher you get. The higher you get vibrationally, the younger you are. But then it all equates to orphan trains. So the higher you go, the older you get as well. So that's also orphan trains. Now, which way is up and which way is down? Okay, so the higher you are, the quicker you become haggard, like when you climb mountains. So the constantly rising and lowering of the continents, one floods, one rises, one recedes, like America was completely underwater, and then it rises up, giving you the new world, which was the old world and completely reset because they submerged in water. So what you get is birth, rising, death in their paradigm. What you do get a lot, I've noticed of, even in their depictions, is a lot to do with these chariots. And I'm doubting whether they're just horsey chariots as we think of them. And these horses that take flight like the Pegasus, also mist and fog that bring death. It tells you about in here. And there's been a fog that's been warned of. It's been definitely fog for the last couple of days. But, you know, if I must perish by the force of fire, let me transfix with thunderbolts expire. See, whilst I speak, my breath the vapours choke. For now her face is wrappeth in clouds and smoke. Well, this is chemtraily, isn't it? And every single one of them Phoenician depictions, you see this chem cloud underneath their fiery chariots. And it goes on to say about, see your own heavens, the heavens began to smoke. They literally say that when this place gets reset, the heavens do too. Destruction seizes on the heavens and gods, as well as down here. Atlantis becomes unequal to its fight, and almost faints beneath the glowing weight. If heaven and earth and sea together burn, all must again into their chaos turn. And they give you the accounts of Troy. They give you the accounts in this book, Astra Casta. It's mind-blowing, all of it. I obviously can't talk about it all because it's just absolute mind-blowing stuff. But it gives you the watery theme and how this place is reset. Plasma and water, the two great purifiers, fire and water. So all of these documents I'm showing you will be linked up at the end of this vlog. I'm going to plow through. So the Phoenicians, after they covered over the buildings that were still left here. Now, I'm going to say that some of these buildings that are in your streets, in your cities today, guys, I'm saying some of them, okay, are from before Noah's flood. Right? And they have been water damage, and they are showing signs of water damage, and they were underwater. And then the Phoenicians, water receded. We talked about the upper levels of water receding, you know, the higher balconies and the air balloons and all of the rest of the tech, and it all fits in with it. Yeah, the fish balloons that we see as well, the shapes of fishes. So the Phoenicians, here they are, and you know, the ever-present fleur-de-lis. We pretty much recognize a lot of them, like they're all one weird family. But one thing they did do is they covered all the buildings with this stuff. Okay, uglified it with the Phoenicians. And I think this is an advanced technology, and I think it was made them capable. It's probably, you know, of our frame of reference, you know, even this band here, you know, it's high tech. Of our frame of reference, what do we even know? Look at this. You're telling me this God's helmet thing, like they wear in the film, like Immortals, is just like, oh, for protection when I'm battling. Look what he's got behind him. Fasces, electromagnetic technology, the most important weapon of all. And this toroidal around his ears, it looks all like it's, well, want for a better word, space age, but it's very futuristic rather than past when I see Phoenician headwear with the toroidals. And like, if you know, it really does feel like that they're traveling from another place outside of our sort of frame of technology, which I'm sort of getting to grips with now, guys, with the electromagnetic bit and the way that, you know, the figure eight toroidal. So it's all like, you know, electromagnetics. You know, this might be some sort of force field they could create around them to protect them. But they're gone. They came here. You won't see one because their noses are dead straight. You don't see one in the street. Some of the royals, like in coronations, you'll be able to see a lot of them, like next summer, because having a coronation of sausage fingers, that'll be fun. This again with these toroidals, and it just looks like literally technology, and the wings, because they were flying, because it was a fluid sky after a flood. It was thicker, it was soupier, things were different, and things were in the air. Hence these landing platforms. Balloons were used in more so. And then they just come along and they cover this over. You hacked all this off of a hammer and guarantee there's red brick underneath it. And they show you their half-man form after they came out of this water from above. Has to be. They're from heaven. They're the heavenly host. They're the Olympians. And it has to be that. And the way that they hold up our civilization as well with this. So what's below us as well? Divine Comedy springs to mind, Dante's Inferno. So here's a weird folly to sit in, a couple of Phoenicians. Something else going on with them as well. And the ever-present Cherubanuskis, not an endearing little baby, more an evil little demon, nasty thing, in my opinion. And the fleur-de-lis on the shells, you know, the whole Phoenician paradigm. There's no mistakes. It's the Phoenicians, guys. You know, I've gone through every civilization I could think of, you know, from Aryans through to, you know, obscure groups like the Sabbateans. And it all comes back to the trade and the fluid notions of our society today. Everything is fluid. All of it. Finance, trade, our roads. Roads are on sea charts. They were the first roads. The roads you get on land were not the first roads. The roads are at sea. But then again, you've got this. We talk about this quite a bit, this half-human form. A bit like Hellraiser when he's getting his skin. We talked about this before. You see so many of these undeveloped skeletal forms. They're not quite there yet. They couldn't stay here. It's the sun. It had to be the sun. They couldn't stay here. They had to go. They robbed us. They just set this paradigm, this on you know, this satanic paradigm. They've left these people in charge. Maybe these are in commune with them. The Vatican, death, evil incarnate on our plane. And it's all tied into religion, you know. It's a real weird religion, isn't it? It's apocalyptic fucking religion. Everyone's, you know, it's all incesty. There's all fucking weird, dodgy shit going on in the Bible. Really dodgy shit. But I was thinking, you know, that Lucifer was cast from heaven. He was God's favorite. God was jealous. And he was an angel. Not actually a demon, was he? And he was the most beautiful, wasn't he? That's what they say, don't they? Yeah, I'm not actually hearing the same, you know, positive, beautiful XB. When was the last time someone said to you, oh, Jesus, man, Jesus is so beautiful, man. Have you seen him? He's just an ordinary looking bloke. You've seen him on crosses. He wears basically a curtain chamois and chamois leather and looks like just a dude. So what's with that? And this whole heaven and hell paradigm to control you when we don't really feel like doing any of that anyway. Can you just leave us alone? I'll go for a walk in the woods. Take my goldfish for a walk. So these are opera houses. I visited one in Prague this year, which was quite mind-blowing. And it's a big part of it. It just shows you they're doing some sort of like Westworld type stage show. They're doing some genetic engineering. You can't even tell reality from fucking fiction any fucking more. Don't know whether we're in some sort of strange simulation, because you break things down, you get to noughts and zeros anyway. But that is just the nature of a magnet, isn't it? On and off switches, just like a computer. But they left all of this behind for us to behold. And this advanced vault technology, resonance technology, echo technology. I got the buzz the other night. Let me just show you these. It just shows you that every country, no matter where you are in the world or what religious denomination, they all share one thing. Exactly the same architecture. It's called Solomon's Houses. It's called Phoenician Takeover. USA. Russia. All identical. Buckingham Palace, temple-looking, Greco-Romano, multi-leveled, apocalypse-proof buildings, all of them, all part of a circuit board city plan for all of them to produce energy. And now with the World Cup script being played out and millions of people all like buzzing on their bullshit, do you know, they don't tell you about the riots they've caused in Belgium and all the trouble because of all the stupid football fans. Yeah, you're going to get your fucking yeah, just don't happen. They keep it all out of the press and they just keep on driving people against people. The same old narratives, the same old bullshit. Can't stand it. Just fucking give them bread and circuses and they will never revolt. But it's not for everyone. So Argentina, Taiwan, Taiwan. I know. Japan, all share exactly the same Greco-Romano architecture. So is it in the history books that the Romans went all the way to Taiwan? No, it's not, is it? No. Egypt. Circuit board bank corners. You get these on corners or banks. Always these on the corners. Part of the circuit boards. Cities. Brazil, Kenya. Look at that in Kenya. Classical theme. Did the Romans go to Pakistan? Did the Romans go to Vietnam? Did the Romans go to Poland? Well, yeah, they did go to Poland, but you know, all right, the rest. Look at that. Phoenicians there. So yeah, everywhere in the world it is, you know, these people on their little horses and carts dragging people around, as opposed to build these great divine opera houses and classical architecture. Turkey, no different. Greco-Romano. Sri Lanka, exactly the same. And of course, Germany, which is a little bit more Gothic, but does have enough classical architecture. India, South Africa, Thailand, all identical architecture because one people's built it all and shared exactly the same plans. And they're all like mudflood, and they're all upper balconies for flood, and they're all built like brick shit houses made of marble and granite because of their crystalline structure, so they resonate. They've got atmosphere. In them big buildings that I used to visit when I was in the Merchant Navy and I went in Russia, they were so big, yeah, and so echoey. They used to give me a literal nosebleed, and I'm not even joking about that. I used to have a nosebleed off a building, guys, because it felt so oppressive, these things in Russia, Indonesia, Sweden, Singapore. I have literal nosebleed. It's like, this place is killing me. And then you get like this, you know, in Paris, part of the old expositions. Why, in God's name, would they take that away? And just now there's nothing there. So there's been a deliberate expunsion of this former Tartarian, non-classical architecture, but still fully teched out, twin Tesla towers. That thing would have been sparking between the two of them, creating resonant energy, which we will look at a little bit later, because I've got some stuff to show you on free energy, which is going to blow your mind. I shit you not. Okay, go on. Okay, carry on, Matt. So opera houses, as I mentioned, they are definitely sort of like showing us that they are in some sort of, this is some sort of reality show for them, their amusement. It's sick. We need to fucking gang up to protect the children is what we need to do, guys. We need to gang together. This is where they spunk the money, yeah? And I want to talk about a little bit about Madonna and Simon Cowell and all these replacements, yeah? Is there adrenochrome supply running out? I think they got super drugs now, haven't they? Like the limitless drug. So what do they do with all the money? Is if you're poor, they'll steal you, and worse. And if you're rich, they spunk all their money on replicating Atlantis and its technologies. With Technasmia technologies. Echo. I noticed I was in bed the other night and I heard a train going from about a mile away. And then it occurred to me that the sound wave had gone a mile through all them buildings, gone through my wall and window to arrive to my ear. How can that work with sound waves? How can an invisible sound wave, fasces, an invisible sound wave go through walls and receive in my ear? Boggles my mind. It really does. And it's the same with electromagnetics. They're passing through us. If you could like literally see them, it would just mash your head up. It would be. So yeah, this is their opera houses. So opera is a big bit, isn't it? The old Shakespearean theme as well. They tell you all about reset, comets, the rest, and all of the pretty grim Shakespearean. Some of them are comedies, but I don't find them very fucking amusing. It's all Phoenician, isn't it? Look at them. They show you the whole thing. This classical theme I just talked about in Astra Casta talks about these fiery chariots laying down a chemical fog which kills everybody below. Okay? Just like chemtrails. This is all allegorical for them fucking Phoenicians doing this, guys. And there they all are, like, Liberty, exactly like Liberty, who was said to be Lucifer. It's just There are angels in your gardeners. And in the book, the first book that I present, guys, okay, the Francis Bacon book, he states, but he is evil, but he does state, oh, no. Demons are good. Some demons are good and look after you. Equal balance. You get some good angels. You get some bad, shitty angels. You get some good demons. You get some bad, shitty demons. It's a bit of a mix like with people. Oh, really? Oh, okay. According to that book. And genius. So genius, genie. This moment of genius, these connections, these synchronicities, this whole thing. Led. Seems like we're being guided by an invisible force. Napoleon. Was that N really ever for Napoleon, I wonder? But opera houses are unbelievably Phoenician. You should see them inside the opulence. And they give you the godages, cherudup, but obviously in Italian, I don't speak that. Maybe Nora can. And look at this. Look at this top on here over the dome. I don't think I've really seen that before. Some in Austria, the one in Prague I seen was mind-blowing. Nothing outside, no infrastructure, just horses and carriages and a beautiful, massive opera house. There had to be something else. I think that they are definitely repurposed. Could it be always on about just, you know, acting out our reality and getting to a tragic end? Because that's what they do. And that's what it is. They literally know the end performance and they're telling us in these operas. That's what's going on. That's fucking duper's delight. That's what the resonance is in some of these music tracks underlying, you know, that sinister underlying bit, you know, like with Queen. It's a kind of magic, for example, you know, tracks like that, you know, and there's an underlying sinister apocalyptic theme to it. Like they know about the flood, like they know how this place works, like they know what shape it is, like they know it's reset. And that's what gives it the buzz. People in stadiums, the sky clappers, they're just thinking it's a good buzz, but they don't really know the deeper meaning to what the band are telling them direct from the Tavistock Institute. But the architecture in these is absolutely sublime. No doubt about it. That's the one in Prague. And I went inside there and I took photographs. I could have showed you. The lady in there was really lovely and I wasn't dressed very smart. And they were all like immaculate going in there. I thought they'd be sticking their nose up going, you know, but, you know, I'm British. I was with my mate Patrick and he's Irish. So, you know, she was like, oh, can I take photographs and look around? Yes. Very good. Yeah. Well, she didn't say that, but you know what I mean? Look at that. See this thing? It's a ship. The bows, the stern, the, you know, the accommodation forecastle is there. The accommodation block is there. This whole thing is the shape of a ship. Not many people around. An obelisk, which is another bit of technology. But shit tons going on that. Aerials and all sorts of wires and all sorts of caper on that one. So opera houses are part of the Phoenician paradigm. You can see that replicated architecture no matter where you are. One person built them or one people built them. This is an early document I dug up this week, which gives you a visual idea of what happens with them chariots and the chemtrails and everything else I just mentioned from the Vatican archive. I had to dig deep, but it's a really good book. I can't share it all with you because basically the time factor, but it is really groovy. And what you get is like they're giants. They are all giants in it, and they've come. And you get a lot of mermaids going on. And, you know, what kinds of, you know, defense castle is this? Or is everybody really big? You'll be able to see the size comparison shortly. So again, Phoenician ships. The ships seem to be alive. You see this from Jason and Argonauts. He has a figurehead which comes to life and grants him wishes in the film Jason and the Argonauts. And again, the figurehead seems to be alive and chucking stuff at this army. Ships that are alive. You don't see any rowers, do you? Rowmen. The rowmen. Well, livery, Boston Ray, and everybody else, thank you so much for being here. Make sure to share this out. And again, with these, you know, they all got wings. There's a difference between fairies and angels. We're going to look at that a little bit later. And these buildings, you know, the celestial houses, which are copied classical architecture. But this is like a mode of capturing the ether and flying. This is because it was a fluid air and she can like get about. That's what you find. So yeah, this is a post-apocalyptic book, this is, and these bricked up temples, yeah, so they don't do what they used to. That's the temple of Juno. They give them all the names, and it's got some Trojan Wars going on. I'm not sure if that's a giant, because there's an adult up there or somebody blowing a trumpet, and she seems absolutely huge, but there's a big carnage going down there. Get to the bunker, said Juno. You coming with me? Yeah, it's got, hang on. Has he got, yeah, he's got serpents in his hair, which we think is just meaning like electromagnetic disturbance. You got to get out of it. Probably make you go insane. It has in some documents in the past. Communities have gone nuts because of the electromagnetic disturbance that they can create. A lot of the homunculus around, you can see it on my thumbnail, little humans or little people are chemically bred. And then what we got? This place. Are we homunculus? Have we been bred underground? Where do we come from? The arrivals. The original inhabitants are talked about, okay, a lot in these books, and they seem to have been wiped off the face of the earth, trillions, guys. I hate to say it, but what it did is produced a lot of orphans, and we are the descendants of them said orphans. And it is our duty, if you like, is to remember that them orphans do not live in a time in the past, but now, and that they're suffering. So I guess we should protect them by busting this shit right open and the dirty shit they've been doing all along. Fuck off. So as you can see, there was dog-head rulers again in the past. You see these dog heads very much up and running again, and the Phoenicians. Just crazy. So let's see if we can get some giants up for you. There you go, giants. 3 of them, and everyone is sort of diving in the water, or just touching the water, drinking it. Yeah. So Archimedes again. Archimedes, known for the Archimedes screw, known for early rocketeering and advanced weaponry. And Archimedes is Arch, again, A-R-K, Archimedes. He's man at arms for the early Arch, is what Archimedes was. They're all in this first book, even Aristophanes. I think he was a crew member as well. I really do. I think they were all early crew members in the same craft we're in now. Vessel, I should say. Earthship. Lost at sea. And we're all fucking dead. And they ain't hiding it, guys. And they sell us on a stock exchange. And that is what, like, we're supposed to just put our hands up and say, yeah, okay, I'll live my entire reality. And all my children, my grandchildren will all live like that forever. It's in this place. Because I'm not going to put my hands up and say I'm doing that, guys. Because that's fucked up. That's just nuts. Yeah. Everybody should be all right in this place. Equal opportunity. So as you can see, giants. No distinction between peoples. That's them, again. Everybody together, one big happy family, having one big happy warm hug. Okay? There won't be all of the weird corruption and corrupt minds, because that's just not going to be. People are forced into corruption. I guarantee you a lot of people in jail are there because they wanted to feed their fucking families. Or they just got mixed up with drugs and all of that, which is them again. Their tool against us. So, yeah, you get all of these, as you know, the cryptids, the Centuria, half man, half horse, and all of these flying beings. And don't forget the Pegasus as well, all in what appears to be a burning world. And this one, out of the water. They're always out of the water and out of the sky. Because it came out of the sky and out of the water. I think all of it, the whole narrative is clear to me now, guys. Look at the size of these people. If that's what they are. I think that's the Oracle symbol. Probably the Oracle. And again, with Poseidon, or in this case, Neptunus, with his trident, which can create a vibrational quality, which can cause a tsunami, which is another allegory for technology. It all is. So here they are with their thousands of ships to burn, kill everybody, enslave them. Think of that film Apocalypto, when them nasty bastards turned up on them lovely people living their lives. Them. That's them. Yes, them. That's who turned up. They were the Phoenicians. If you've seen the end of the film Apocalypto, I was like, fucking Mel Gibson knows. They had all the Phoenicians with the Phoenician look and regalia and all of their weird sort of, they have all like creeps, gimps, what they call freaks of nature around them. And you get that with the elites, and you get that with the Phoenicians. You get the same in the film 300 with what's his name, Darius as well, or but he was a giant as well, and also had a load of gimps around him, and here's Mercury with his caduceus, which is an electromagnetic weapon, and they got walls to keep all the mud out because everything else is seemingly fucked. So sound vibrational weapons. So I can't go through all of that, but you get the idea. I'll pass it to you, and this is the Phoenicians. This is how it all went down, in my honest opinion, because there's too many cross-referencing books which tell you exactly the same. And if they are from heaven, and heaven is above the firmament, it's in water. These are watery people. You know, Occam's razor. They're from up there. Right, we're moving on. Phew, I got through that. Wow. I had to rehearse that in my Brian, guys, and then tell you it. Oh. Right, please, could you definitely share this out? And if you add in chat now, there's a few hundred of you probably. I don't know many. I'm coming back now. Who brought them up? Very funny, Fritz. Could you like this video and help the algorithm? Even if you dislike it, just doesn't even matter. This is a mind blow. Why is it a mind blow, man? Right. If you read my first book, Holy Grail of our Flat Earth, I include the Tesla code or the Rodin code in it. 369, a goose drank wine, a monkey chewed tobacco on the street, Caroline, the line broke, the monkey got choked, and they all went together in a little rowing boat. Clap hands. So this infinite looping key to free energy, and what Tesla says is if you knew the magnificence of 369, you would have the key to the universe. The key. Key is sound. A sound and a vibration, and a key to the universe. Now, don't ask me why, guys. I don't even know. But I go through some really weird, obscure books. Not sure what I'm looking at. But this one was basically early Greek universal hieroglyphicum. And it tells you about the shape of the earth, but in a mathematical form. And then I come across this in the book. And I was staring at the mathematical configuration, and I noticed they all acquainted to one side of 369. And coming down, they all acquainted to 369. Now, I can't claim to know what any of this Latin means, but isn't it a massive coincidence of all coincidences that this calculation acquaints to the sacred number, the mystical number of 369? So they know in this book about Rodin's code. They know that level of advanced technology in this book and mathematics, vector math, and the rest, which blows my mind. They're talking about 369 in a book that is in Middle Latin from the 16th century. It's mind-blowing to myself. I'll share that with you later. You might want to go through the rest of the book. There's a lot of mad stuff in it, got to be honest. Right. Fasces, I was mentioning earlier, this type of weapon. And we're going to think about the more recent apocalypse that happened at the start of the 1800s. Now, what you find is in this newspaper article, it was from the Times, maybe if I could show you there, from the Times, 1807, so a couple of years before the big events of New Madrid and Napoleon, etc., which are included in them books. They talk quite a bit about it. But what happens is Mr. Conrave, the inventor of fiery rockets, which have been used with so much effect in the last bombardment of Copenhagen, returned to town yesterday after a severe passage in the North Sea where he was separated off Taxel. I've been there. Anyway, so to cut a long story short, he basically gets in a bit of a storm, but then they are spying. So this gentleman, we are informed, was 2 days in the town of Copenhagen in disguise for the purpose of ascertaining what damage had been done by a new weapon. Which thought his means has been employed in this siege. Now, what weapon could that be? It's 1807. That's pretty freaking early. So what kind of damage did he do? Well, we estimate that a quarter were the fire was most violent, so a quarter of the city. There were whole streets on fire, and which not one house is left standing. There are nearly 400 houses are actually burned to the ground, and that they were scarcely one in the part of the city which has not received more or less damage. In the streets, there were houses were not set on fire. There were scarcely one but inhabitants and marks of shells. So there's no shells, no signs of shells. Something has blitzed these buildings. There's no explosives, no rockets, no sign of shells. In some streets, the houses were not set alight. Oh, yeah, I just mentioned that. Anyway, or in the complete demolition in their windows. So all the windows were smashed in a blast. Okay, explosion from shells. Says there, but it says there scarcely. The inhabitants have indeed suffered most grievously in the bombardment, but they can, in fact, do only accuse the governor. So it goes on anyway. So a dreadful weapon tested early off of Copenhagen and used on Copenhagen, which affected the entire city. What is it? Fasces. This is a discovery of an old star fort on the river Dnieper, and it's in sort of southern Russia, and it is in Kudak, which is the old city name for this now. It's named after the river in more modern days. And it's an old star fort you can find on old maps. The thing is about this star fort is it seems to be that the cliff is wasting away or wearing away with the river. And it seems that the thing is going to fall in the sea on some early depictions of said star fort. There it is there. It's quite far back in Kudak. And that's from 1635. That's pretty bloody early. And that's quite a technical star fort. And it has a feed going straight into the water. And that's a big part of it as well. Remember I mentioned sound waves? I wonder if sound waves could actually penetrate this sort of shape, and whether, you know, with the way echoes work and breaking echoes in sound rooms, they remind me of these bits here. So I'm wondering if, you know, if you had that sort of technology, the star forts would be able to protect you from it. So we got a J635 there. It is there. It's still pretty much away from the coast. But today, there is on the Dnipro River, and it is not there at all. But what you do get is a giant big lake. Okay, so the star fort would have been there, and it would have been out there where the sea is now, and all this land was there. But now there's just a hole in only 300 years, like if some giant weapon had taken it out and left a huge crater. That's all that's left of it there in the modern day. Bit star fort. I think fascist technologies. I really do. I really, really do. Right, I'm going to show you a video for a minute. I'm going to show you a couple of videos, actually. But this is a good one. This is Free Energy. Was filmed this week in Saudi Arabia. People were going to the top of a mountain because they were getting St. Elmo's fire on their bodies from it. And guess what, guys? Somebody posted on Facebook this morning. This is being seen all over the realm. I shit you not. The EM's on the move, guys. Things are picking up. Don't miss it, and don't even deny it to yourself, because here's your evidence. This is this week. Top of a Saudi Arabian mountain. They're all going up there for this beautiful phenomena of plasma on your fingers. Because that is free energy. That can be harnessed, and it's picking up. Is that what they're worried about? That the EM's going to raise so much that we're going to release free energy and they're going to lose their hold on us? All of these energy bills, all of this bullshit narratives like coal, fossil fuels that they've had. But there it is, guys. That's free energy, guys. It exists. There it is. Okay? There it is. And this has been increasing along with the animals circling. Somebody else posted as well as one this morning. Free energy is a real. Anyway, I am going to leave the room. Let me just show you this in a minute. Bjork, okay? We're going to get into some more history in a minute. Bjork, okay? 2 suns ready to shine just for you. Now, I always knew there was something odd about this girl, but if you've seen her past videos, she's a little boy. Or an ugly boy-looking girl. Okay, there she is, Bjork in her infancy. And she's a terrible fucking dancer, but they're not big, you know, the Euro poppers at dancing. Look at that. Fucking I got my head kicked in if I had danced like that when I was in school. But there she is. Okay, yeah, okay. She's got little Nellies. I see that. But, you know, a lot of fat kids got Nellies these days, haven't they? I'm just saying. I think Bjork's a boy. Anyway, so I'm going to show you a video and I'm going to leave for 2 seconds and I'm coming back and then we're going to get back into history. Okay, free energy trip. Okay, as I made earlier, just for you. I gotta go. I'll be back now. Okay. Yeah, they are coming back from the moon. I don't seem to have any volume, do I? Excuse me. Right. Let me just come back a second. So what you got here is the interaction of sound and mercury. Some of this is Tesla tech, as I will show you now. But I really need to blow this image up because it's bloody small on Google Images. So give me a second. Let me just redo that again. And this time add volume. I do excuse me. So, and I will be back very shortly. This is a video of some Tesla tech and mercury interaction with sound. Very unusual stuff, as you know. Oh, where to is it? There. Okay. There you go. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Be quiet, you. Be quiet, you. Okay, I'm back. Oh, what's that? Get off. Oh. Okay. Hello. I'm Seamus O'Reilly of the Tartarian Liberation Front. I'm afraid that martinliedtke was getting really on my fucking wick. Okay, my fucking wick. So I've gaffer taped him up and he's under the bed. Gaffer taped. I'm going to take this show on from now on. A little bit of sanity for you all for a change. You can see you're all suffering with his internal blatherings. So we're going to take control of the situation, okay? We don't want any harm to come to him, do you? I mean, his kneecaps, you know. Don't be scared, guys. No, it really is me. I know what you were thinking. You're thinking, oh my God, it's the IRA and they've like literally like taken over Martin. No, it was just me pretending. See how I can act? Don't worry, don't be scared. Don't be scared, Scuttled City, I'm back. I know what you were thinking. Easily believable. Yeah, my balaclava was invented in the Crimean War. Brilliant invention. No, I'm a martini fatini actually today. Okay. We're gonna keep it fluid. Somebody asked me today, what does double flat thumbs to infinity thrice mean, Matt? I'm like, I don't really know. It doesn't matter anyway. It's whatever you want it to be. It's a magical formula for love, is what it is. That's what we're going to do. We're going to fucking batter them with love. I don't fart, Ed. I'm like the Queen Mother. Okay, I haven't got bum. So I can't possibly fart. I can mouth fart, which is called burp, but they don't smell the same. Fred, good to see you. Mystery, Isabella. Mo, good to see my friend. Tracy, Esley. Missy. Right, we're going to get back into the history. Actually, I've got a lot to go in this, guys. It's early days, actually, in this post. 744 of you turned up. Magical. Could you please share this out? I know I keep saying this. It's an easy thing to do. You're just sitting there cozy. I'm going to give you at least a couple of hours of brain mashing formula of information right now. Right now. Yeah? You won't even be able to cope. It's mad that 369. They must have been teaching that in schools in the past. That advanced. Wow, they're so fucking stupid now. Don't smoke mountains weed, Lou says. Okay, good advice, Christian. Good non-stopping breathing advice, Christian. Cards don't lie. Okay, I had my tarot cards done. They were Salvador. I can't. Dali. Salvador Dali. I'm sorry, Nora. I was thinking of you when I was doing that. Yeah, I know. I was waiting to see if they enlisted me. Yeah, I got. My son's Irish, half Irish. My wife was Irish, so she was. Amy, Flat Earth Freedom Fighters. Popular friend, come the glorious day. Bot against the fucking wall. They won't get away with the goddamn thing. They sit there all smug with all of their fucking whatever, their bullshittery. They're pure gel, guys. And they've got good right to be as well, because we smash it. We make academia look like a bunch of pussies daily, weekly. It's just weird. And that Graham Hancock, I actually spoke to him a couple of times, yeah. He's plagiarising Flat Earth British to motherfucker and took it to Netflix, making out it's all his. He's just repeating old Flat Earth British fucking Tartarian, Celtic Tartarian blogs is what he's doing. He's not even doing his own research, okay? So anyway. I'm Carios, Mac, Tracy, Jane, Alva Billy, Miles. Let's get back into the information. We got loads of funny stuff to come. There's my son there, who's Welsh Dragon Metals. Go fund me a boat. I'm trying to get a boat to entertain you all with. At the moment, I'm quite happy to be doing research 24/7 to get to brilliant answers because it's bloody freezing out and there's not really that much to go. I don't really feel like sailing in the cold weather. I'm more into hot weather, me. So Mama Cat, Denise, good to see you. Bonnie, my Bonnie lies over the ocean. Chip. Okay, I got it. Slow my Brian down. Okay, let me slow my Brian down. Okay, gone too quick. You need to chill. Chill. Dig it? So I don't know if my mate Mel's in chat. I haven't seen Denise. Mags there, Hippie Shakes there, and Love Bombs dropping on Richard right now. Great to see you today as well, Richard, my brother, who's the ceiling fan guy. Yeah, never chuck your baby up in the air if you've got a ceiling fan. I find okay because they just flick around all over the place. That never happened to you as a son, Lawrence, as a baby, Lawrence. Don't worry, you didn't get mad. Any fan. I used to carry Lawrence around in a papoose in my coat. And people say, "What you got in your coat, Matt?" I say, "A baby." Like, oh, really? I was like, "Yeah, my son." I was like a red, like an Indian. So I love Ray Mudflood. This Ray, I still owe you a hangout. You got to get over here. Maybe come over with Richard and some of the guys. I'll try to be quiet and not like noisy or anything. Okay, you see what happens. I've really cheesed off the Tartarian Liberation Front. They want to fucking gaffer tape me to the ceiling again. It's not my fault. Shouldn't, you know, they shouldn't put someone like me on YouTube. I put me on YouTube anyway. I'm just saying, YouTube, you know, it's obvious, isn't it? Because most people, I've always known this, are fucking stupid. We've always known this, haven't we, guys? This is why we don't get like, you know, normies or that many people like sort of watching this information, because they're like, it's basically way above their heads in many, many regards. So, Martinios Smokios. Okay, we'll get on with the show. So, Martini, Fatini Esquire. Okay. It's the non-existent Liga Millions. But don't worry, I'm happy. So let's have a look at some flatter day pictures. Let's maybe cheer ourselves up a little bit if we're feeling really sad about everything, which we're not. We're actually busy. Don't do that. It's boring anyway. So look at this Atlantis structure. I thought this was groovy. So somebody's knocked up an Atlantis structure. You've got to like, that could be fucking full of water. And this could be the land and we're in a continent. But it looks like a crater. And then you get all of the Atlanteans in the world underneath. They could be below, but I got a feeling they are above the waters, above in the Tartarian Ocean, above the Tartarian Ocean is above us. And I think that they do come in, and I think that's where they've gone back to. They tell us, guys, let's be honest. Yeah. And you mustn't interact with the humans anymore, they tell them, because they like, oh, but I favor such a hero. He's my champion. I want him to succeed. It's like, yeah, but he's really annoying. And look what he's trying to do. Yeah, the whole paradigm will be lovely. We don't want that because you're evil. So this is Jericho in an old document, Arab document, and Jericho is in fact a maze. Now let's think, Bible narrative, Jericho. They brought the walls down going round in circles with an army, blowing trumpets and banging drums and causing a vibration, which caused the walls to crumble. But that is a circuit board. And we're on about a sound and a vibration. Again, is this allegory for the taking out of circuit board cities? And this one in particular, look at that. Jericho is like a Neuro Unro center processor for that area. Taken out with a sound. So this week I was disappointed. I got a collection of these, and they said they were Dickensian London photographs from around 1850 on glass plate Demarouge. I thought, oh my God, they are sumptuous. I was like, these are fantastic. So I thought, oh, hang on a minute. And when I did a little bit of research, some of the faces are from original people. Everything else in the image is fucking AI. I was so disappointed. Again, got to be careful. So I mentioned the circle dance in the past. We see this a lot, and the cats are doing it there. And we have some alchemical performance going on here with some sparklers. Okay. There's the Magic Man. Some of us up there having a little dance with what looks like the devil. A little ring of roses. Pocket full of posies, a tissue. Shut the fuck up already. So what they're doing is they're making a chemical brew with babies. As you do. Baby Q. So they're chucking a baby in the boiling water, and then there's all like psychedelic stuff coming out and all of that. You know, Cherubinowski's flying, spilling water. But yeah, boiling babies in this case. And she's like, don't look at the baby being boiled. That won't happen to me, will it, Mummy? No, not unless we get hungry. Oh, seems to be a really fucked up time. They're having a little party going on there, aren't they? What's happening with her headwear, her Oh dear, she's got a tent on her head. So anyway, as you can see, major fucked up times. So never mind Janus. You see a lot of multi-headed things in Evita, don't you? As well as the Janus, but you know, I don't know what that is exactly, except for a cute raccoon, I guess. I want a spider monkey. Brilliant on my vlogs. So, oh yes, Satanist things come in. Yeah, you know, like the Sweetie Collector or like Moloch. Give your kids to Moloch, Satan, Santa Claus, isn't it? So the kids actually got this right. Yeah, love you, Satan, instead of Santa, because it's like Satan's Claus, an anagram of Santa Claus. But we all know that anyway. Oh look, shares. You want to go where everybody knows your name. With Ted Sherson. There's Ted Shearson. You want to go? So that's what happened to Shares. Good program. Boston Mudflood Cellar. Oh, yes. Ray Mudflood Cellar, Boston Mudflood. Get on that one. Maybe you could show us a vlog of it. So what happened to all the old telephone boxes, which were possibly some sort of technology beyond the telecommunications device, as I've explained through the Matrix, and Superman, and countless other Danger Mouse. Okay? Telephone boxes have all ended up in telephone box graveyards. I would love to go in there. You could build a house of telephone boxes. Like a telephone box house. Oh, can you remember? Oh, what was them kids who lived on a double-decker bus? The double-deckers with brains. Oh, I remember that. The lead singer of Aswad was the kid in it. So, yeah, static electricity experiments. You may want to screen save that. Give you some idea if you want to knock this up yourself. My son's brilliant at all of this stuff. Free energy stuff. Brilliant. We're going to crack it. Oh, I think I can hear a plane coming. Here's high-tech radar of the day, 1930s. Listen to that plane coming from a miles away. Okay. This is a photograph of Blondie, who's playing in Cardiff Castle this summer. Obviously, she doesn't look like that anymore. What the fucking hell is wrong with her eye? Has she got two pupils? Went out of love and he was a gas. Soon turns out he was a pain in the ass. What? So I like Debbie Harry. Anyway, she's playing Cardiff Castle. If I get enough money, I'm going to buy myself tickets to go and see Blondie. I really like to see Blondie. Anyway, so there it is. It went up to the moon and back. Oh, look, the moon and Earth. Oh, basically, both in perfect clarity. Oh, right, they're both in frame. Brilliant. But they got these super little clips to hold it all together. And it's a piece of shit. And they say that there's no stars. Don't get stars. There's no stars in space. No stars in space. Bitch is water. There's nothing going on up there. I can't believe they got any of you to believe in this. This was a block of buildings in Marylebone in London. I don't know if they're still there. It's a 5G thing going on there. Maynard's mints, toffees. Who don't love a Maynard's toffee? Cool. So, yeah, they were shit back then, weren't they, them buildings? Oh, didn't that get killed in the fire of London? Didn't get that far. Cooking with poo is not advisable. Okay, recycling has gone a bit far. They might do that. So, yeah, London, they were dying in droves. They had their own railway stations for getting rid of the dead. Apparently, they say one reason was cholera, typhus, scarlet fever. Fucking doesn't even matter. Diphtheria is the new one. Oh, yeah, banged up injected all of the migrants in Britain because got diphtheria coming. Oh, yeah. Rabies. So beautiful ornamentation, isn't it, on this gate for just the dead? So it's been there a while. They've been doing it a while. The necropolis. Anyway, you got a coffin ticket. I don't know if they give that to the actual dead person because that wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, use a ticket, mate. Because brain's still active. London Necropolis Station. So they're just shipping out huge amounts of dead out of the biggest city on earth at the time. Westminster Bridge Road. And because they are so many dead. Isn't that weird? There's another one. The Westminster Bridge House was also a necro station for shipping out the large amounts of dead that they were killing in London. So here's Felix Baumgartner. And this camera actually shows like the whole of Arizona globe. So like just Arizona is just a globe, all of it. This camera does and that camera. But you know, when you see this camera over here, you see that there's no globidity. Nothing's falling away. It all comes up to eye level. Yeah. Phoenix Baumgartner sucks. Bum. So this is supposed to be off of the coast of Spain. Somebody built a big sea serpent in the water, which is quite good, I think. A lot of effort. I'd like to see them build it. Maybe they built it in lockdown, so nobody was out when seeing them. Why they do it, I don't know. So here's George Harrison. My sweet Lord. Oh, guess who died this week? Christine McVie. Christine McVie of Fleetwood Mac, who is probably, I'm not saying this is true, right? That she had like a really hot lesbian love thing going on with Stevie Nicks. But she probably did, in my mind. Anyway, get back to reality. So there's George Harrison, famous Beatle. And it takes so long to see you, my lord. He's in the Masons. He's got a Masonic ring on. So I didn't know that before I found this picture. He's flaunting it. Okay, she thinks she's Welsh. I think she's a witch. Yeah, she's not even ginger. Proper witch is a ginger. And you ain't even fucking Welsh. You ain't got a Welsh name, Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks. Old Nick, the devil. You got a bit of a big jaw, I'm just thinking, by the way. Anyway, let's get back. I'm not slating Stevie Nicks. I like Stevie Nicks. Yeah. I think Fleetwood Mac are repulsive. Look at all of that fuzzy where it's like photoshopped in. I'll show you an example later. Somebody run it through a photo process and seen that all of this is photoshopped in, and it's a piece of shit. All that investment. So I could see the people doing something with the money. So this is the Brooklyn Museum, and outside the Brooklyn Museum, because it's massive, beautiful museum, is a load of shit. Isn't it interesting what they're doing standing on all of this mud? And what I like by here, it's all like rubble and bricks and stones from what? From the old world that was there before. What was there before? And why are they all standing there? And what's all of this mud? And where's the infrastructure? And why is that there? With nothing outside but shit and mud. Mudflood. So this plant seems to have grown into a monster, man. Nice bit of red brick going on there. Yes, a quinky dink. I know it's a quinky dink. Okay. Same carpet in Stephen King's The Shining. And loads of clues in this, as we know. Okay, Apollo mission and the spooky carpet as well. Okay, but they're doing it again into infinity and beyond. It's got exactly the same carpet as The Shining Overlook Hotel's carpet, spooky carpet. They're boring and they don't change the script. So here's more Phoenician bullshit. So look at these shells, and I noticed they're all multi-layered. I wonder if that's some sort of oil filtration technology, because oil filters work like that. He's most unfavourable on the front of that building. But jolly good things and happy things happening there. Okay, this is the reality. What we're going to get in a social credit system that is doomed upon us if we fucking just put up with any more of it without any, and us all saying, no, we're not going to do it anymore, which is what I'm trying to get everyone to do. Warning, yesterday we noticed you criticised the government on Facebook. Your account has therefore been suspended for 14 days. This is not a joke. There's an element to this. If you're on the universal credit, if you're on Facebook saying stuff, they literally suspend your money on Facebook, on universal credit. So they're doing that, and they're going to do that. They're going to be punishing you for speaking out, saying truths, yo. Dropping truths will not be good, yo. It's not good, is it, guys? Fucking controls off the radar. So, yeah, look at these fucking things. You're holding it together. Oh, God. Yeah, well, as long as it keeps it there, it's, well, vacuum tight. Not that it matters. And the moon and them both in focus perfectly. Well, they would be, wouldn't they? And this guy is really brilliant photographer who's hanging around, floating in nothingness. This is Turkish black hash. Let's just, excuse me. Nearly shared it then. Let's just have a smell. Dream. And be thankful for this universe. This bit, anyway. 4 angels. And there is an image of what Atlantis would look like, which is advanced tech, absolutely beautiful, sumptuous. The materials, everything was fine quality. And basically, they're not dozy as dishwater like they are now. And they have the big floats with the throne, like they do with the floats in the modern day with the Phoenicians. And this is interesting. It's a painting of Pharaoh's army being taken out in the Red Sea. Well, what's weird is Pharaoh's armies in a Middle Ages setting and not in Bronze Age, far off Bible days ever. You never, ever see that anyway. That any of this religious stuff is, so the fashion never, ever changed. But what's weird is, so that's the Red Sea, and the sea opened and it closed on Pharaoh's army, we know. What is this? Looks like, this thing up here. Excuse me. This. What's that? You see it? Let's see if I mag up a bit. Excuse me. This in the sky. That's associated with the parting of the Red Sea and sinking of Pharaoh's army. I don't know. I'm just saying it's weird. And it seems after the reset, there was a lot of power struggle with these barons and these greedy Phoenicians. And, you know, it seems to be a right old messy affair. The whole thing. But they're massive on water because they have to be, because they're from the water. And they have to be back in the water. Yeah, delivering her in a wheelbarrow on her. This is like lords. They're being healed. And water can heal you. Structured water. So you put a castle up on top of that rock. Feast. So yeah, the healing waters are definitely a thing. And look at that. That's the classical world. Nuked. Blitzed. When this thing was shook like a snow globe, probably tipped upside down. But now we're firmly stuck and we are still unstationary because we're scuttled. Women logic. Bikini, no problem. Underwear, oh my God, don't look. Okay, this is something that if I live to be 1,000 years that I'm never going to understand. Yeah, that's hot. And that's also hot. But for some reason, bikini is like, okay, I can just dig with that on the beach. That is, fuck me, that's really horny. It's mentality. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe somebody, don't explain it to me. Just saying it's weird. So Christmas used to be illegal. Okay, in the days of Oliver Cromwell. Public notice. The obfuscation of Christmas having been deemed a sacrilege, and exchanging of gifts and greetings and fine clothing and similar is a satanic practice and hereby forbidden, with officers able to fine you 5 shillings if you're caught giving presents and doing Christmassy stuff because it's satanic. But not that like pagan things all of that bad, but they've gone completely nuts. There's the white bunny, always ever with this sort of agenda thing. Let's have a black bunny. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them all equally. So let's have a look at the list of the pagan holidays. Christmas, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a laugh, isn't it? For the wickedness and the destruction of the land of the church by the chosen people. Anyway, New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, the Roman god there. Easter, which is Babylonian god Ishtar. Ishtar, again, Babylonians. Halloween, as we know, that's the great witches' hair sniffing ceremony. And Mother's Day and Father's Day, which is also part of their agenda. Fuck me, have they been around since the old days? I do not know. So anyway, it was bullshit. This is inside Wells Cathedral. I went in here on a school trip when I was in school, and this figure 8 thing blew my head off. They got an Oculus there. That has to be important. Probably letting sound out. But what a weird shape to hold the ceiling up. They're the only cathedral I know of in Gothic Cathedral that has the figure 8 arches, which I find really interesting. This man had what he thought was the best tattoo in the world until he went to prison. What? Oh, sodium fluoride, insecticide. It'll make your teeth stronger. I know. Give that picture to your dentist on your mobile phone. So, but is it in the toothpaste? It's like, is it in the water? It's insecticide. It's in poison. Ooh, this is a 1892 poster. Do not vaccinate the serpent. Run with your kids. So, you know, it's been going on this agenda for a long, long time. So, the cash crop of America, pick it while it's hot, hemp. And it should be again. It's going that way. The hummingbird knows where to go. It's going to get a sticky beak. It's going to get a sticky beak. I bet it smells lovely. All that colour in one go. Is that beautiful? You know it. You know it. Here they are, farming hemp in America in the past. Long stalks on them, but it looks like nice, fat, juicy buddage on top. That's what they do with their day in America, because you can get flax and clothing and even a car. You can build yourself a motor car. A yacht. So I've read this and I brought it forward. It's on the Celtic Tartarian channel somewhere with the other 1,000 videos. But the voyage into Tartaria that I posted about, the cover always gets me. It's from 1869. Is the Tartarians seem to be jolly big, don't they? And there's one of those holes like the oculus and a light coming in. But yeah, she's a woman, obviously. A woman. And she's giant. She's giant. So yeah, somebody put it through an examination, that moon bullshit, and there's a clear box around Earth and the moon, which obviously it doesn't take a genius to actually get that stuff. This is pretty. Look at this. It's got a lovely little statue here and Getty's Images of a gorgon or lady naked, and she chopped a man's head off what looks like a sword outside a family co. Isn't that like mother care for America, where you take your kids for like pushchairs and prams and stuff? It's a nice statue. Oh, okay. Don't scream, ladies and gentlemen. Keep calm. No animals are ever hurt in the making of a Flat Earth British presentation. What you see here, okay, is this poor little fella got rushed to the vets. He was unconscious on the floor, covered in what looked like blood. Turns out that he'd gotten into a jam pot and he'd eaten all of the jam and had a sugar crash and passed out. She rushed him into the hospital, finds out he had sticky strawberry jam, which you call jelly in America, sticky strawberry jelly all over his body, which he's still licking off, but he's happy for the experience and it all went well. Imagine his mother when she's seen it like that on the floor. All covered in red and passed out with a little. I bet she screamed, rushed into the hospital. Jelly, jam, strawberry jam. So in South Korea, in Seoul, in South Korea, had a massive Flat Earth convention, and they're all doing the Freemasonic one, which I'm trying to get out of the movement, but nobody seems to be. Everyone in Flat Earth British land is flat thumbing, which doesn't seem to have any dodgy Masonic satanistic. If everyone knows that, why are you still doing it? Just saying. So that's about the Phoenicians. Excuse me. This was taken this week in the fog. If you don't know this, watch the film Tiger Bay. This is Newport's Transporter Bridge. It was from about 1918, something like that. It's Edwardian. And there's not many of its type. There's one in Middlesbrough. There's a few in Britain, but not many transporter bridges in Great Britain left still active. And this one is. So you get on your car and it carries you across a sky cable to the other side of the River Usk. I've been over it. I've been under it on a ship, and I've been over it in a car a few times, actually. Not on foot. I'd like to do that. Here, Susan George. Right. See, when I was a kid, sitting having to watch movies in my house could be really awkward, especially if there were sex scenes on the television. Because I live with my mother and my sister, and I would get dead embarrassed, But I can't tell you the level of embarrassment that I was in when my mother went and put Straw Dogs on with Susan George and Dustin Hoffman. Never mind the shotgun gnarly bit at the end. I'm on about the shotgun rape bit. I was dying. I was like, and how'd you get out of the room as well? It's like, and it's Susan George. So yeah, Straw Dogs, don't watch it. Tainted for the rest of my existence. It's maybe the man I am today. Susan George, yeah. Anyway. Ooh, the vegan lifestyle is awesome. Just ask these teenagers. Yeah. Killing it. What you need is what I cooked today. Like literally the lamb fat crackling with a mint sauce was so tasty. It made my mouth water even before I had it. Do you know what I mean? I mean tasty. And let's be honest, that sheep would be happy to die for me. Yeah, he'd be like, I love you, Martin. I would die for you and you can eat me. I'd be like, I know. So that's all right. See this queue, 1977? Some of you young whippersnappers might not remember. Okay. It's actually George Lucas in the queue. I actually queued like this for Star Wars. Not the second time I watched it. First time was in Puff Call on holiday. So there was no one there. I wasn't even old enough to go in to see Jaws or Star Wars or Saturday Night Fever, which I've seen them all. Because in Puff College, you could give a shit, give you a bag of glue to go in with. It was brilliant. I didn't mean that bit. So this is the good old British corner shop. Yeah, I got a good corner shop. Shad, we call him Shaft because he takes all your money, like literally. Most of my money goes to tax and Shaft. But I love the guy. He's one of my neighbours, and I've known him for like 40 years. But we used to have the good old British corner shop. I used to go down to my corner shop, Storkies. He had everything, all my Christmas presents, everything was in there, fireworks, you name it, he had it. Okay. And he would do a deal, meaning you could get a ton of stuff for no money. My mother said she would pay you back if you give me that, because they would sell separate cigarettes in there. If you give me a 10 bag mixture of sweets, okay, and a separate cigarette, which they would be happy to do on a corner shop. And then you would like not tell your mother and you get in terrible trouble. It would add up. But they were great. And they used to deliver it to your door, guys. Oh, I love Britain. Bad gum. Look how wet and fucking shit Britain is, eh? Fucking love it. I'm going to make everything around me beautiful. That will be my life. That was by Lisa D. Wolf. Okay, that'll be my life too. I'm going to make everything around me beautiful and be surrounded by beautiful things and beautiful people because that's what I like. Yes. Why not? So they never built this, did they? This is a post-apocalyptic picture, and they got one of those vault things. Look at the ceiling on this, though. The voltometer thing. So they just like camping out in there. All of these buildings were left. You just went and found them. If you were an apocalyptic survivor, which a lot were, you can see the evidence of how many went underground, guys. Loads survived, but trillions died. Trillions. So there's a lady of the Middle Ages, a Queenikins. So The Crown. I watched a film recently, Black Adam, with The Rock. It was quite a good film. It was all right. It was genderized, but not, didn't get it up too much. It was all right. But it was about this crown that had been forged and it had powers, which would imbue you with like superpowers. And it's always about crowns with queens, isn't it, kings? And I'm wondering if some of these original crowns, not just the one covered in jewels on the queen's head and stuff, or soon to be on the king's head, but more technology than that. I wonder what this disc is with like things on it. I can't think what that is outside of some sort of technology. I do not know. But I definitely think something's in crowns. I think some of these crowns were special. Okay. I dig, you dig, we dig. She dig, he dig, they dig. It's not a beautiful poem, but it's very deep. I always say dig. Dig that? Dig it. Okay. Oh my God, Fat Puff's playing in Cardiff this year. Guess what? He's not playing in Cardiff. He's going to highlight in Glastonbury. Oh my fucking God. Glastonbury. Yeah. Glastonbury used to be, when I went there, a place which was really dangerous and easy to get killed and had all the best drugs and totally free. Okay. Then they put a wall up. And then the man got hold of it. No more Greenpeace and CND. It was Dolly Parton and Jay-Z and fucking Robin Gibb. He was all right anyway. He did Saturday Night Fever. But now they're going to have as the highlight. No, not Radiohead. No, not Coldplay. No, not Blur. Fucking Elton John. Fucking Elton John. Yeah. Tiny dancers. Fuck off. Yeah. I'm still standing. Yeah, not for long. Yeah. I wonder if this is a fake image. I can appreciate they got high heels on. He might be really short and stocky. Yeah. Snoo. That's my chosen method of death as well, my friend. Snoo with these two would be fantastic. So, it's brilliant, this realm, isn't it, guys? There's so many good aspects that make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Two giant women is one of them. So here's no picture of America, which they will show you is Aboriginal America. And again, you've got the gene in you, the Aboriginal, so it's like gene. And they show you like the Aboriginal, basically the Indians and Native Americans. Okay. All the different tribes and where they are situated. I believe the Sioux are up in the north, aren't they? Canadian border. I haven't got them on there. But it's funny how they regard them as Aboriginals, the same as the people who are in Australia and the same as the people I've seen in parts of Asia too, as I've commented on in the past. Oh, this is cool. Pit bulls. I love pit bulls. They're lush. Pit bull breeds are naturally strong, intelligent, and courageous. Their main goal is to please their owner. In the early 1900s, pit bulls were given the title of nanny dog. They were known to be faithful, loving, loyal, especially when it came to young children. When it came to children, children's safety was practically guaranteed. Yeah, because they give you they would kill anything that touched it. Oh, not lovely. Baby protecting staffies. Yay! This was the foggy week we had in Britain, and there it is, Avalon, the mystical city in the mist. It's still the mystical city in the mist. Went up there this year, carried a fucking, basically a car battery up to the top of this mountain. I never had an heart attack. Look how fucking flat it all is. Glastonbury is brilliant, the town, guys. I just love it so much. Every time I've been to Glastonbury, not the festival, I mean, I've had bad experiences there. Many good as well. But the town, I love it. I've got many friends there. So there you are. They're fucking us over on the birth certificate. It's all by design, and use a clear coding to let us all about it. They kept the information in stone. Dice been around a long time, so have playing cards. So yeah, my tarot cards done this week on a show I went on this week with Manny. And Dan Falkenbach read my Salvador Dali cards. And what he said helped me tons, because I had a couple of questions going on, and it just answered what I wanted to know, really, about all this and, you know, my mission. Don't cry. Don't cry. It's happy. Please, don't cry. He's hurt his leg. He lost his leg. But then you're going to look after him. He's like, we love you. We love you. Look at that little face. We love you. We love you. Oh, poor dog each. Don't worry, he's got his mates. Happy day. Happy days. Okay. This was photographed in Britain this week. Again, is in Nebaru underway? Should we have our gold ready for the Anunnaki? Or is it something else going on? I don't think that's a lens flare, but it looks like there's something else that have stepped in the room. Talking about it for long enough. Definitely think so. This is a shaman's house in Turkey, and he's got his fence covered in sage, which will ward away evil spirits, which it does, because I'm a smudge addict. I smudge like all the time. Anyone, like I had an gas electric testing safety fucking thing come in my house yesterday. So I'd done his head in. Couldn't wait to get away. That was all by design. And then I smudged my house in case he was like, you know, dodgy. I don't know what his past is. You know, might be have like harbour or stuff on him, which he looked like he had, actually. Kept moaning about his family all the time. That's not a good fucking redeeming feature. You go to a stranger's house, moan about your family. Big him up. My wife's brilliant. My kids are brilliant. No, I just bitched. Fuck off. Okay, stop that. Everything on the bank and finance, all of it is to do with liquid. Okay. So I've been in Europe. This is in Istanbul, and it was Byzantine, it was Christian and Muslim, and it is Hagia Sophia. And it's beautiful. And it got like really old carpets, and the sun all comes in, and it's twippy. Okay, this is good. This is good. The 6 types of courage. Okay. So we've got physical courage to keep going with resilience, balance, and awareness. Very good, very good. Social courage to be yourself unapologetically. That's me. Yeah. So moral courage. Doing the right thing, even when it's uncomfortable or unpopular. That is definitely me. Emotional courage. Feeling all your emotions, positive and negative, without guilt or attachment. Brilliant. Intellectual courage. To learn, unlearn, and relearn with an open and flexible mind. Ka-ching! Indeed, indeed. Spiritual courage. Living with purpose and meaning through your heart-centered approach towards all life and oneself. Spirit God. I like that. I like that. I concur. So there's the book, New Atlantis by Bacon. He had this island or this continent out past Canary Islands in the Atlantic. But it's not there no more. So here is a dual jade covered mummy that is in a museum in the East. And it is what exactly? Is it cryostasis? Is it a robot? I don't know. But it is really, really weird why they would even produce that humanoid green jade stone thing. Don't know. So Ezekiel's wheels, high technological stuff, apocalyptic property shown on the Lamate outside the dome picture and on Ezekiel's wheels. Is some sort of fiery plasma tech with wheels within wheels with eyes on them. Wheels with eyes. Seems like some incredibly advanced Phoenician technology, and they come from above and they bring lightning, and all of the seas are turbulent. Okay, advanced technology, as I said, from these unholy fuckers in heaven with fasces and fiery tech. And all they want to do is wipe us out after they've used us. We're only a slave class to them. We want to take it back. Let's bum rush heaven, guys. I'll go first. Fuck him. This dog here's been a naughty boy. Look at that face first before you find out what he's done. Look at that little face. What did he do? Okay. I chased a greyhound down into his hole and I got stuck. And Mummy had to call the sheriff to dig me out twice. Not one bit sorry, Bew. Aw, Bew, we love you. Bo, we love you. Naughty dog. There they go again. After the apocalypse, some women dancing around this obelisk, which is outside the Pyramid of Giza, which is no longer there anymore. He's playing a guitar and they're dancing. Like that's, apocalypse, everything's smashed. That's definitely what you would do is dance around an obelisk. I mean, they pay homage to the technology it once was and more and more. So what's happened to Simon Cowell? He's gone worse than Madonna, hasn't he? He's turned into a rubber man. It's got to be an actor. The one we see on fucking telly and stuff, X Factor, I Got Talent and all of that. The Mason, that is Cowell. But hat off to him. He was shagging Sunita, wasn't he? So he's a bit jammy there. But look at him now. He's all rubber melting, man. He's had some Botox or something to young him during like the last few weeks or something. And all his face is all bloated out and shit. And he should have had a shave because he looks like death warmed up. It's got different colour hair a little bit. Maybe it's the lighting. But like with Madonna, that's no way that's the same Madonna. You see now them stupid shit things she's been doing again this week. And there's no way that's Simon Cowell. There's something else going on. This is Masonic humiliation. He dropped the pictures, apparently deleted them because he was ashamed. And he must be just dying today, after this whole week. Yeah. And he'll never leave him go. He's tarnished forever. You look like shit. Yeah. People like that too. Go into pieces. So what's going on is he's beaten under humiliation. Maybe he never sucked a dick or something, whatever they do. Hollow Earth, okay? Is there Hollow Earth? I don't know, but this is quite an early good book that it was. I picked it up on Art of Dino's channel. I watched a little bit of the other night, and it's an early book. The author's from, he died in 65, but it's about the Hollow Earth, a greatest geographical discovery in history made by Admiral Byrd in the mysterious lands beyond the poles. The true origin of flying saucers. And it talks about inner Earth, but I don't go with the inner sun thing because this place is only, if it was a globe, 24,000 miles around the equator. It'd have to be a very fucking tiny sun if all of that was true, which is not. Anyway, I'm saying there could be stuff down there. And they tell you about Little America in this book and all sorts of stuff. And I'm going to share it with you after. I'm not going to go through it, but you may enjoy it. Richard E. Byrd and The Mysterious Lands Beyond the Pole, which is good clues. Anyway, we're moving on. So, talking about underground, what you find with Divine Comedy is this original copy. It's got some of Milton's pictures and Dante's, and what you find is this ascent to hell, okay, which is an upside down pyramid. And you've got to go through all these levels. So we're up here, and it's like the other half of Mount Meru going down, okay? And then there's all these different levels, which is just a pyramid or an upside-down bell, and Tartarus, apparently. But yeah, it's just it's a speaker. It's like a speaker. It's like Mount Meru in reverse if you turn that upside down. And it's supposed to be below us. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if there was caper going on below us, guys, and even stuff, if you like. Anyway. So this was this week. Russian Vid's posted. Russian Vid's been taken out. If you are wondering, he's on They Live Truth now. He's lost his channel, I guess. I don't really know. But he's got a new little channel there. And Graham Hancock, I've spoken to twice in emails, believe it or not, concerning one of his books I read, and I asked him about flat Earth and stuff. So is Mike Tyson an insider? Because I kind of love Mike Tyson, and I dare to think of him as a Masonic insider. But he talks about flat Earth in a very, very positive. How do you know? He's not really flat earthy. And this guy, he's getting upset because everything's invested in this bullshit that he's been. And he's such an authority on antiquity. He's so well researched when he's out flying around the world and doing all of this money shit and doing zip all fucking research at all, ever. And I watched this Netflix program, Apocalypse, and he's talking about Noah's flood. He's citing Enoch and everything that we fucking talk about, like if he's fucking done all of that. Anyway, so we don't like flat Earth. And he says, all ancient cultures, they all know the Earth was,
All right, let's stop right there. The ancient Egyptians knew this.
Rated for Russian vids, maybe not. They ask him, and he says, all ancient cultures knew that the Earth was not flat. No, they all knew it was flat. If you go from Norse, Jewish, Christian, every single theology completely tells you this place is flat. The only one is Western theology that says it. So I'm not sure if I actually clicked audio.
Who cares? It's the difference between a crater and Big Bang evolution, which there's absolutely no proof of. For him not to understand the implications of creation versus the Big Bang explosion that supposedly created this ball Earth, and the reason the so-called ball Earth has the so-called inertia, the spin of the Earth.
Do it. You can see it on the thumbnail for the video. His face is like a smacked ass. It's talking about flat Earth. But he's got so much invested. Right, now, space tripping. Now, this will be interesting to see if they pull this off, because they say in 2023, early 2023, so right, in the spring, you're going to be able to take this from a ship, apparently, although it's a CGI ship and not really existing or anything really, and take a balloon to space. They say they're doing the spaceport for human space flight by the spring. So what? They got like 2 months. Yeah. So the only way they're going to pull that off is everybody who actually goes on there is set up and lies like fuck to come when they come back, because all they're going to be seeing is the flat Earth and it all coming up to eye level like it is there. So yeah, globally, and that's what they're doing. Space preserves hope of start testing the edge of space in early 2023. So that they won't be able to do because they were giving the game away, because civilians who are not in the Freemasons and the space agencies will be able to see it, the shape of the Earth, and they tell everyone, "Oh, actually, you look really fucking flat to me," because it is. So let's have a look at Blackpool. Now, Blackpool is where you take your holiday in the north of England in Lancashire in 1901. Okay. So, I'm going to take my family down to Blackpool and get ripped off by everybody. Okay. So, what you find is everything's immaculate. There are quite a few children. Everyone's well turned out. But let's see what you can actually spot in this only a minute thing. Okay. Oh, you see 1 or 2 kids, Pavlov, but not that many. There's a pushchair there. Right. I wonder what that was. It's a lamppost, isn't it? With a blue ball on it that looks illuminated. Is that a street lamp? And what you get is these. And they're all different colours, and they look like street lamps maybe, yeah? And you get a lot of bunko booths. And how many do they need? Everyone immaculately turns out. What don't they do, poor people? Every single person except the children wears a hat. They still see the camera as quite a curiosity. So what did they all get off the train? Why are they all clammed together and marching like that? Where did they arrive from? The station's not by there. So where have they all come from? They've just come from the front, and they all seem to be going in one direction, all of them. Where? Looks like they're going up Manchester Road to me. I don't know what's going on here. It's really fucking weird. And they're all walking in one direction. And I can appreciate that this thing might be set up, but that many people. What's going on exactly? Right. I'm coming back there in a minute. I have some videos more to share with you that I have made for your treats. I'm going to come back, actually, a little while. I'll give you a little shout each and find out what I want. Okay, hi guys, 813 of you. That's not bad, is it? So, good to see you. Happy Flat Day. Okay. How's your Brian? Everything okay? Yeah, did I deliver? Okay, we're not quite there yet. We've got some more to go. Okay. Peter, what are you saying? It's the right one, the bright one. That's Martini. Anytime, any place, anywhere. Hi, Scott. So I hope you're all having a good time. We do have a good time on a flat day. You have to be honest, guys. We have a brilliant time. It's like you can't have this night out anywhere out because you'd have to deal with all the normies, and then there's always a potential when you're me of having a fight with somebody. And I don't do it. Some kind of starts on me. I've always had it since I was little. So always one fucking stupid ego fucker that fucks with me every fucking time. That's all right. I wouldn't want it any other way or any of this had. I was thinking about it today, all like the struggle of YouTube and its bollocks and everything else. And I thought, no, it just makes it all more fantastic and it makes it all better. Yeah. Fuck YouTube. Don't need you to push me. We'll push through anyway. The information's out there. That's my service done. So it doesn't matter. The rest is ego. It's out there and it's known. And that's it. That's what I think. Logan's Run. Good to see you. Bad Bull is Ranty lives there. Globe Tad. Yeah, I met him. Is that right? Mactron, Canada Me, DNA, Navidas, and Lou. Underground Trains, indeed. Canada Me. Shag a big clown. Oh, Shaq's a big clown. Oh, yeah. Yeah, mustache. Yeah, man. They got like... we've all seen our father wear art though about the moustaches, haven't they? You're not like a Dapper Dan man. You're not bona fide unless you've got an handlebar moustache. Chris, okay, we got more to come. We got videos. I made an aesthetic video for you, which I'm going to walk you through, which is 18 minutes long, which is beautiful. It would be breathtaking. I promise you, they're the best, most beautiful images in art I can find, and took me a fucking lifetime to actually collect them. Dumping hundreds just to get to the ones in particular. This is what we do. This is how we roll. So, Canada Me, good to see you, Clone. Cheech is in the house. My brother Fred's in the house. Astra Casta's in the house. Liddy's in the house. Kathy. Little Wing. Yes, my dinner was lovely. Little Wing. It was beautiful. And I'm a good cook for a Welshman. Welshmen are good cooks. I'm a good cook. Jack. 4 Jacks. New arrivals indeed. Ahu Fashanu. Fashanu. Fashanu used to be a football player for Justin Fashanu. Was it Coventry City or Norwich City? I can't remember. No, Elon Musk. Did you see him in his hot pants? He's definitely a girly, isn't he? Girly. Am I being unkind? Fuck him. Fuckos. Loyal tag. Zosmanovic, good to see you, Isabella and Mo and TYY and all the gangs here. Here we go again. Well, we're dancing neath the steady skies. Lisa, the cars were quite good, weren't they? She makes me feel good. Richie, Kevin, good to see you. Capilocious, hippie shake. All right, we've got more to go. Astra Catch. And it won't be too rude. There may be 1 or 2 jokes, but that's not my fault if our antiquity got to have like topless women everywhere. And then Phoenicians got to have a jug hanging out. It's not my fault, is it? I'm just saying. So, Amy, Monica. Anyway, let's get stuck back into more usage. Thank you all for popping by. Please like this video. Share this out. That's the bit that makes me happy, seeing this going up. Okay? Let's get 1,000 people over here. Share this out. Let's get a massive, massive crowd for the rest of the duration of this fantastic stuff. Daisy, Stacey, you always say things to me. in Massachusetts, which is Massachusetts. Beetlejuice. Don't say that 3 times. So, have you seen Johnny Depp? He's the new Beetlejuice, isn't he? He won't pull it off. Yeah. Fucking, what is it? A guide for the deceased. So, yeah, you may have seen my vlog this week. I had a bit of a spooky going on. I better fill you in. I might have been, like, haunted by a ghost. Might have been my mother or something, because something kept touching my hair. And I used to have like really ghosty experiences when I was younger. I seen a lot of spooky ghost stuff when I was young, and then it all stopped. But then I was like shit scared of ghosts right the way through high school. And I remember telling a girl, Tracy, I went out with, she said, "What's the matter?" So I'm scared of ghosts. So, what? All the time? So, all the fucking time. It's like they're following me. I feel like they're there. And I had these really weird feelings, and I started to have them again when I thought the guy next door was brown bread. Basically, I haven't seen him for weeks. He's an old cunt. Anyway, he called me a nigger. I ain't even black. He's a right knob. Anyway, cut a long story short, I thought he was dead in there. So I tried to call emergency services, social services. I walked to 2 police stations because Ely doesn't have a public desk. I walked to Fairwater, which is another area. They didn't have a public desk. I should have got my camera out and started auditing them. They would have still fucking showed up then. Yeah, section 42. Then basically I found out off a neighbour he's actually not dead and not haunting me at all. He's very much alive and in hospital, apparently. So they won't see him again. So yeah, that was weird. So I haunted myself. Be careful what you think. Because I'm a spooky cat anyway. I can't help myself. You know, I'm the master of disaster. I'm going to do that shit anyway. And I read a fuck ton of occultist material because of my nature of my research. Francis fucking Bacon. Yeah, that's the fucks with Brian. Good job. I don't give a fuck. So here's my son and heir, Lawrence Leaker. Love Lawrence. There he is. Donate to Martin's GoFundMe and trying to get a boat. Trying to get a boat for the spring. Sail down to the Scilly Islands. Go and hunt Starthoughts and Antiquity. So back into some information. Martini Fartini Esquire doth requesteth that you shareth, pleaseth. Thank you. Thus. Yeah, no, we're going really Shakespearean, aren't we? We're actually really, cool. I was trying to think of another word then. So, Bunnytaria. So, into Taria, yeah, the favoured critter was the actual bunny rabbit. Let's play some appreciation. We did dogs. Now we're going to do cats. The Victorian lady taking a rabbit for a walk. Unfortunately, it was nailed by a Doberman Pinscher a little while later. Little Victorian lady with a little bunny rabbit. It was the beautiful, softest thing ever. There's another Tartarian lady with her bunny rabbit, which looks more like a hare, which ended up in the pot anyway. World War II. How do you think we won the war? Yes, that's right. We smuggled loads of bunny rabbits in with the Allied forces at D-Day. Yes, they see them things coming down on parachutes. Yeah, they weren't supplies. They were bunny rabbits. Yo, there's another Victorian girl. Looks really pissed off, but she's in love with a bunny rabbit. Okay. Another little girl. She's got a bunny rabbit. Shut up, Lucy. Smile with a bunny rabbit. No. There's a couple of non-twins, but they've got bunny rabbits as well. Let's hope they didn't bite their heads off. And this lady, she got a bunny rabbit on a leash. Come on, Peppers. Catch up. Oh, I fucking love bunny rabbits. This kid taking his bunny rabbit for a walk. They expect it to be all right and safe as long as there's no dogs around. And a lot of dogs won't even hurt a rabbit. They just think a rabbit is a little dog. And my rabbit's quite big. Ah, look at her little face, lover. You rabbit. Lovely. And some Frenchman. He's got the white rabbit, which will end up with the snails later. Ooh, she's quite tasty. And she's got 3 rabbits. Yeah. See, rabbit people, that doesn't like a colloquial term meaning they shag like a rabbit. I don't think that's true at all. Like the ever ready, Benny. Oh, another couple of spooky non-twins. She's got a chicken. No, it's a rabbit. Oh, look at the size of her rabbit. Ah, a little dog as well. Yeah, I'm getting like sad for animals. Good job I see my rabbit nearly every day. Lives with my son. Gotta have rabbit like or animal interaction because people like really suck and rabbits are like animals and dogs and cats and everything really. It doesn't matter really. I like spiders, me. As long as they're an animal, I'm happy. Yeah, trees too. Oh, look at that little face. This is why I loved Sooty and Sweep when I was a kid so much, because of Sweep. Sweep was bunny rabbit. She's pretty, isn't she? See, I think they're false eyelashes, though. They did them in there. But look at her locks in her hair. I wonder if they do that. Maybe they're tongs. Probably are tongs. So he ended up a gangster and bootlegger later. The very corrupting bunny rabbit he found. What's he got on his head? No, that's very Simon. That's very Norman Bates-ish. Very Norman Bates-ish. Move, you little rabbit. They periscope and they do that. So Bunny Tartaria, take your bunny for a walk, play it music. That looks like my Lucky. She's not my sister when she was young as well. That's spooky. Weird. Oh, Eva Braun. Oh, this weighs as heavy as 3 little bunny rabbit. I'm going to get a rabbit. Keep my rabbit company and make some other rabbits. And have loads of rabbits. That's what I'll do. Yeah, do that, man. I can't. Anyway, so next, let me just play you my aesthetic art video, which I made for you, there's music to it, classical, but I'm going to show you, I'll talk through some of the pictures. Okay. Only some. Right. Because my mouth's actually aching. I'm sick of my own voice. You laughing at me? Don't do that. Hey. So, one thing I can say is you get a lot of these. This is not actually a horse unicorn. This is more a goat unicorn. But what you pay close attention to is quality of the architecture, the quality of the clothes, the quality of the people, the jewels, and the civilization of what we're looking at. This is the finest of, I guess, the classical art that I can find. And there's some music to go with it. So enjoy. Okay. So this is possibly the non-pearly gates in heaven. Yeah, this is what could be. If there is a good scenario with heaven, which I doubt, because they can fuck off at this point. I'm not going. Hell ain't a bad place to be. Ask Bon Scott. Unless she's like, oh, Martin, welcome to heaven. We heard all about you coming in. I'd be like, fuck yeah. What? I'm a man. Interesting, this apocalyptic thing, but he's got the hourglass. Okay, 2 opposing Tauruses, nurse plane in the middle. But on the top, he's got some sort of compass that he's looking at. Got to be a clue to the reset. Check it out. Her face is like that because she's actually getting lezoed up by this old granny woman, this gilf. Okay, look, she's touching me up. Which is what's going on, isn't it? She's trying to take clothes off. Ah, there's a baby on the floor, and the world's burning. And the owl. What is this fucking place? Looks flat. Stationary. What the fuck is it? Good question, mate. Hello, Emmy23. Okay, this won't hurt one bit, madam. If you just put your head on the block, it's going to the guy in the very tight trousers. He's going to chop your head off. Okay. Yeah. Seems to be agreeing. They're lamenting a bit. Oh well, it's up to you. Gotta come off, innit? She must have been a witch. Here's the happy couple. Love. Holding sweaty hands. Yes, the old Tasharooney. Tasharooney. I wonder what's with is this some sort of cooling aid, this neck thing that they wear? Because it would hold air, wouldn't it? Or is it to stop your head from flying off? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's not important right now. Anyway. Oh, here's the women. Oh, yes, they're looking very, very nice. No, I asked for the slutty women, not the nice women. The slutty women. Can't you hear me? The guy in purple. Use food for the emperor. A load of birds and stuff. Oh, look, a man. He's writing. Oh, I haven't seen a man before. Yes. Oh, yes, it's a man. Do you think he can hear us? Yes, he can definitely hear us. We're only 2 foot, 3 foot away. Let's just watch him. It's creepy. Watching, like, voyeuring. Talking about voyeurs, nuns. Oh, sister. Oh, I think he's wanking. Oh, he's wanking. Right, on we go. Talking to the crow, as you do. Beautiful. Composition of flowers. I was thinking of you. Vet collar, yeah, Pete. So, I know I done a lovely roast dinner today, and I got one provided by tomorrow. I don't have crusty bread and oysters and beautiful stuff, and these really beautiful glasses. And I wouldn't drink anyway, drinking shit. But all of this lovely caper, they're so hard fucking done by in the past, aren't they? Wow. Anyway. They're both, well, one's ginger, the other one's got a reddish hair. Not sure if it's dyed. I can't tell you exactly what's going on. She just turns up from the sea. He's like, holy fuck. It's like, and then you would hit the floor. So, you know, I am your leash. I'd be on your leash. It's me you've been looking for. So, if you ever go into like a commune, make sure it's not this commune where they're all lying butt naked next to one another. And not top and tail as well. That can only end a bad way. So, sort your grapes out, love. Notice they have rosy cheeks in the past. It's a good sign of health. I'm not sure what these been to him, but a really, really happy photograph. Painting. Nice lesbo love time. Here's Jesus Christ. He's been shrink wrapped. Yeah. Got all the air sucked out to preserve him. Stop that bleeding. Yeah. So that's shit, isn't it? And now he's a statue in a museum. Let's move on. Doesn't matter. He's going to turn to human again. Save us. Stop that, Ginger. I'm not. There's that crone again, and you got the dove from above. Yeah. Ooh. Look at him. He's got some kittens. Yeah, I'm going on a canal with him now, innit? Stick him in with an house brick. You better fucking not, monkey. I'll fuck you up. I'll hang you with that fucking cord. Fucking touch a lovely kitten. This is where you do not want to be ever, is in weather like that. Ever. Blue flowers. But a beautiful composition. Beautiful. A statue in a Bremen park that's captured cobweb. She looks like she's about to spring to life. And she's in a Bremen cemetery. Not park. That would be weird. Oh, let me catch you. So again, these angels, they like our women and they fly off of them. Right, golden ginger locks. Look at this artwork here. How we captured each and every hair with a paintbrush. Must have done a billion brushstrokes. It's one of Bob's. Bob's a serial killer. Somebody in my chat told me. He uses the blood of his victims in his paintings. Black bits of bile. Go on, fuck off. Oh no, I told you not to eat my good shit. Go on, fuck off. Fuck offeth. Out into the wilderness, enough good stuff. Gaslighting cunt. I know. Fucking hanging around, can't fucking touch it. Huh? More shrink wrapped. She's wet. She's wet female. Oh, what's the matter? Don't cry. And the dog's, what's the matter? Let's have a look at the dog loving. Right. What's that dog thinking? Is he all right? Love him. Oh, but don't cry no more. Dogs I love it. I love that dog. I have no words. I would definitely drop that. Oh, here's Icarus, who's fallen from, he's flown too close to the sun, and his wax is melted, and he's fallen. But you can find all about the narrative for Icarus in the book Astra Casta, which I'll be linking, and all them books following the show. Stinks Bong. She's got that crown going on and all. So, we've heard of Cabbage Patch Kids lately, haven't we? But what about Oyster Kids? Delivered in a mussel. It's got mussels. There's a coincidence. Mussels and mussels. Right. So, Stork never brought them. Post-apocalyptic bathing in the remnants of a copied world. So let's have a look at this pretty woman who's in a John Waterhouse pre-Raphaelite painting. Very lifelike, almost like a photograph, 1850s. She's purdy. She's purdy. She's purdy. Also pre-Raphaelite. So I bet they were all like that in the past. I bet nobody went to the shops in their pajamas back then. This is called The Last Judgment. And you get the Gorgon, EM. Everyone's fucking dead there because of toxic smoke, I guess. Or the mist. So this is in the desert in Arabia. Apparently a dragon. But it's a lot of vertebra of a large serpentine thing. This is a Mayan statue who has a detachable helmet. And he said, stop in the name of love. When you drop your priceless Delft pot, put it in a jar and make a secondary ornament. Isabella, I'm the walrus. Cuckoo-choo. Clue in that as well. So here is Lucifer. So apparently he's the Lucifer, and he's been kicked out of heaven, Goddage. He's supposed to be the most beautiful of all angels, so he's not actually a demon per se, because he's an angel. And he's supposed to be run amok down here, according to the Christian narrative. Could be all propaganda. Everything's reversed in this place. Oh, what is it? It's a man. I've not seen one before. He's not like us, is he? What is that between his legs? Oh, I don't know. Touch it. Here is fairies dancing in a circle. Again, they do that circle dance. You can see them. Witnessed in Wales once in a local story. You can end up in there and go into their realm. Be wicked. I jump in. And they got lovely music as well. Oh, she caught a look at what she looks like. Oh, I'm beautiful. You're not. Skeleton. Here's a fairy and a statue, marble. And they're not angels. They've got different wings, but they're like fins. Like fins. Yeah, Logan, right? And again, I've got that beautiful whatever. Looks like amethyst, maybe. But again, with the Phoenician and a mermaid. A merman. So it's not a photograph, it's painting. Russian, 1800s. And it's a photograph of an old hand. With a shit ton of stuff on it. So, Egyptian pharaohs. And she's got a lot of stuff. A lot of jewels. A lot of material. She's a looker. And she's loaded and she's got a special crown on. Something going on with these crowns. They're a tech. The queen said that she couldn't bend. She had to keep her neck straight. It would break her neck. Okay. Yeah. I wonder if there's anyone around so I can go for a dip naked. No. Absolutely no one. Why is that? Why is that bush rustling? Here's the dove from above again. She's got a bit of a halo going on. But as you can see in this artwork, Russian, you can see a little tiny bit of lady guard invisible. Which is always a good thing. That dude looks like a chick. Can't really tell. And he's doing a bit of alchemical knowledge. And look at that skull. Here's David. He's going to fuck up Goliath with his house brick. And he's going to go and stick something in him. This is a fucked up artwork. I'm not sure what's happened, but I think it's Phoenician related. So, do you see this X you see on a lot of these images? The X plate. Well, it's like the cross your heart bra. I'm thinking because it covers the middle bit here, that is some sort of technology that we don't know about. I'm thinking. Maybe. So here is a bird woman who is a siren, and she's tempting the crew member to come into the water and play. Here's a ginger witch, naked, but naked, thank God. And they fly brooms, which is brilliant. Brilliant. Already showed that picture. I must have got it twice. Imagine the electric and the petrol you'd save. And you could get them to sweep the floor after. Sandwiches. Burst forth. So this is a beautiful bit of an artwork. Phoenician lady, you can see by the nose. And always with the one breast. This is something to do with Isis religion, which is all in the book Astra Casta. Explain how, not the Egyptian narrative for ISIS either. Completely different one. But this sculpture, I'd be able to sculpture a woman's form in such quality. Look at her hair. What I need is models. Oh, look at this crow, this eagle thing. He's nicked a slipper. So I'm going to go with your slipper. That's amazing. Fantastico. Fantastico. So, yeah, please make sure to share this out. We got quite a bit to go. We are coming up to the 2.5 hour mark. Okay, take it 3 hours. Clone. Mind control mechanism. That's really good, Clone. That's really good. Thank you for that. She's like, I pulled his heart out. He was really doing my head in. I thought I would show my breast to do such an operation because this is what you do. And I tore his heart out of his chest with my bare hands. So, yeah, emotions. What's with them? I feel loads of emotions just recently. It's probably to do with my awakening process. But nice in artwork. What do you call? Cool catch tears. Here is the incubus. Okay, it's the male version of the succubus, who is the female version of visits you in the night. Thank God. Here is a crown of thorns. I think they're telling us about the power of crowns when they like sarcastically put a crown of thorns on the head of Jesus Christ. Look, I can make a ball float because that's Lilith, and she's trying to persuade Eve in the garden to eat that fucking apple. More crazy Phoenician headwear and hair. What's with that headwear? Tech. Why are they always naked, Ginger? It's a good bloody question. I think it's because they're in the water, aren't they? And when you see them with clothes, the clothes are stuck to them like shrink wrapped, because that's the way clothes would look if you were in water. Maybe the whole of this place was underwater and they were still getting around the buildings, going up the staircases and carrying on as normal in a thinner liquid solution. And then, not quite water. They only say there's one atom, in their fucking atomic structure, one atom away from H2O, oxygen, as you know, water. So basically that was the Gorgon, and Theseus chopped his head off and said, fuck you. Oh, if you're going to go out there, love, make sure your tits hanging out because there might be boys in the wood. Will that be okay? Yes. And here's some women dancing in the wood, dancing around in circles, again, this time with demons. And here's the totem dance, the dance of death. There's Jesus up in the corner. He's not dancing, I've noticed, but everyone's dancing there. Everyone else is burning as well. Here's a jade gorgon. Yeah, she's got lizards in her hair, and she will eat your soul and spit it out in your face. In your face. Okay. You seen Hellraiser? Yeah? Worse than that. We were to stay your soul apart. No lycra. So this is all naked people. I think they're in water, sky. They're in sky, but they're swimming because of their hair. Yeah, and they look like they're in water. And look at the shit that's coming after them. Demon woman, Skeletor, and the old hag. Check her on the ram. That's some spooky shit right there. And again, they're all butt naked. You know, if you're going to be a chap by butt naked demons or what have you, that's more like it. I wouldn't be sexually aroused if that chased me. Black cat, the familiars always apart. The familiars. So we're having a clairvoyance quiz in a minute, guys. 700 of you on a many. We're going to have a little quiz. Get your psychic clairvoyant hats on. And she's an old hag again. Lezo in her up. She's like, oh, for fuck's sake, you're going to land on my ass. Get the fuck away from me. Here is Goya's picture of the Colossus, 1812, reset year. And what you see is a giant moving away to sea, and all the little people. A bit like Gulliver's Travels going on there in 1812. Here is David with Goliath's head. It's like, I fucked him up. He was nothing, yo. Here's one of those dragon things that occupied the water in the Phoenician era. Here's a lady butt naked, as you can see, but lovely little fan. Look at the colour in that fan. She's fanning herself. She's just hanging around. She's okay. She's okay. So yeah, dressed like shit, didn't they? Not. Look at that for embroidery. I'd love an embroidered jacket. People would comment on it. Say, that's a lot of embroidery. That's beautiful, Martin. I'd say, yeah, I know. It took 200 years to embroider. So, where'd you buy this shit in the old world? And that belt, I've seen them loads. See these? I think they probably give you good stomach. Get a good stomach. Give you like beneficial in your guttage. It's tech for health. And these people seem to know a lot about health. Oh, that's it. That is class. That is class. Yeah. No blood on her whatsoever. And he was gobby, so she filled him in. I never got like no blood on her. So she doesn't seem too happy. She has tears in her eyes, but she's been given a special bionic crown. So she's been imbued with super abilities. And she got to like sleep with a demon dude. He's a bit weird. So, but that happens. Yeah. So even the angels, okay, even St. Michael, in this case, it's a nice, I don't know if that's St. Michael or Archangel Michael, it's an angel. It's got jugs. Angels with titties. See? Nothing. Look at them all in silk. Yeah? God, that's funny. And here is a flying horse, as I mentioned. It's not only people, animals. And you get a lot of chariots and flying horses with the Phoenicians and wing hats and wing boots. Because the sky was a sea and fluid. So they were my lovely, aesthetically pleasing artworks for your Brian. So we looked at free energy, flat a day, plasma in Arabia. We looked at it, didn't we? Free energy trip. Giants. Okay, let's have a look at a couple of giants. I'm going to do a psychic quiz and come back is what I'm going to do. Okay. You ready? Right, 858 are you? Good. I'm glad I retained your attention for this long. We're not quite done yet. It's not bedtime just yet, okay? So, what I want you to do, okay, wherever you are in your home, okay, is look or stare at an object in your room, okay, and empty your mind for a second while you look at that. And I will transfer what this is. I actually did this earlier on. This is me doing it for you. So you would have already, sort of had that psychic thing in your Brian earlier of what is in this box. Okay, what is in this box? So let's have some guesses. Psychic knowings. Okay, if you get it the first one, it would be absolutely brilliant. Okay, so clairvoyant you, 757, prove your clairvoyance. What is in said box? Mystery box, mystery item in said box. It's a ring. No, it's not a dice. It's not a crystal. It's not a key. It's not a gem. A rock ring. No, it's not a crystal. Not another box. Not a lighter. It's not a trick one. This is not a trick ripper. This is something natural. I win. It's a small sheep. No. A rock. Oh, a peanut. A candle. Hang on. A turtle. A chestnut. A yellow horse, an arc, a ring, a tooth, a coin, a diamond ring, a doobie, screws, small boat, a chestnut, a marble, a mini rabbit, Hank's nut, 4 jacks, a stone, a thimble, a USB, a turd, land and inception, a turd, a shroom, urines, Tesla coil, pretty dresses, mini machine gun, or mini cap gun. No, that'd be good. Pretty dresses, a dice, chestnut, watch, shell, fastener, tooth, button, ouch, Hank, I know, pen, gem. No, nobody's getting this. You can't have 2 guesses. No, you can't. Go on. A match. No, it's not. My weed. Petrified turd. No. A lighter, nail clippings. No. Crystal. King chess piece. No. 5 grams of hash. I wish. Necklace. Thimble. No, we've already said thimble. False teeth. No. Oh, come on. Mushrooms. Cufflinks. No. Rocks. Love. That's nice to remember. I love you. No. Mini Bible, magnet, no. Coin, no. Walnuts, we've done. Auto saying, oh, pen station. Okay. Ooh. I'm going too quick. Easter ring dice, chestnut dice, pine comb. Let's start digging. Nail clippers, no, Nora. Bones. Well, it's not that difficult. I've left clues right through the bloody show. Can we miss it? Come on, an egg. Dark matter. Yeah, it's dark matter. That's what we got. Yeah, stacks and dark matter. My tally went off earlier. Do you know what it was? Yeah, it was the Big Bang. Yeah, the Big Bang. Big Bang's happening here now, right now. So a natty tingy. No, not the natty tingy. It's not a rabbit foot. It's not the talisman. It's not tough. It's not ice. Crown. Now let's bring my my friend Seamus. He'll know. Seamus Lufthansa, yeah, of the Tartarian Republican Guard. Okay. Boris Johnson's bollocks. No, did you see my face lights up there? Because it's holy. It's a holy thing. It's when my face lights up. Okay. Like in the film Pulp Fiction, when they find that thing in a suitcase, just like that. But you never know what that is. It's not a dead fish, Nora. Why would I be having a dead fish? Yeah. I taxidermy all my fish. No, it's not. It's not dead fish. I eat him. So bullets, no, I haven't got any bullets. Bloody in Britain. Ed's in a belt card. No. Peaches, stone. Fuzzy Monk saying moon rock. No, that would be wood. The creator. Yes, he's omnipresent, Ed. So in a way, you're right. Okay. Pearl, little stone. No. Oh, come on. This is going to be a long vlog. If no one guesses it, Zippo cross. Hang on. That's the closest. Bob Marley says. Bobby Marley. Matches, ring, darkness. Yes, Pavloshi. Until I open it up and then it's not dark anymore. So you're right. I'm wrong. It's a bit like Schrodinger's cat. Weeds. Everyone's saying weeds. If I open that up and it is weed, that'd be brilliant. Cross. Key, crucifix, almost, no, not really, but yeah, no. Come on. A syringe. N-A literally. A syringe. Rosemary, no. Ankh, no. Crucifix, no. Rabbit's foot marble, come on. Have I got to give you a clue? I've left clues. I've talked about this subject, like, you know, all night. What it could be in this box. Yeah. Not Mary. Mungo. Mary Mungo. Maltese cross. Close though. Close. You closer. Angel. Social Ripper. I found this in the street a couple of weeks ago. So I thought it was a message from angels because I'm having a lot of angel stuff. So it is a pendant as well. And it is sort of a cross. But it is a little angel made of silver. So, Social Ripper, fucking 10 out of 10. Spy, you're smashing it. Fucking angel. I'll give you a clue. It says Archangels in the fucking title. Fucking hell. We'll do next week we'll do another psychic game. What we'll do now, we'll play another game, okay? How many names can you think of, right, for jugs? There are a few, aren't there? There's jugs, there's tits, there's mammalians. Next week we'll do penises. The week after we'll do vaginas, okay? But this week's titties, okay? As many... I'm actually serious. You're playing. Okay, 737 of you, you're playing. Okay, you're indulging me. Lemons, melons, good. Melons, didn't think of that. Butt plug. No, Drew. What's butt plug got to do with titties? Well, yeah, all right, I get that. Lollies, okay. Love pillows. Oh, I like that. Camp pillows, jugs. Cannabis resin. Oh, hang on a minute. Good one. Okay, next week we're doing willies. So, it's not all like female related. We'll do willies next week. The week after, vaginas. Bristols. That's what I was trying to think of. Bristols. Brilliant. Puppies. Puppy dogs' noses. Tokyo's pubes. Paps. Forgot paps. Fun bags. The fun bags. Teletubbies. Oh, I love that. Tastas, pork chops. Oh, I haven't heard of that. Jubblies, lovely jubblies. Nice, big, wobbly, lovely jubblies. Dog heads, lovely. Bazookas, Monica said. Bazookas are brilliant. I love that. Bazookas. Hooters. Oh, yeah. Nippies. Oh, yeah. Big jigglies. Nukes. Oh, I forgot that. Puddy dubs, puppies. Oh, fuck me. Hooters is good. Buttons, bongos. Satan's toenails. I don't get that one. Legolam, big uns, hand warmers, paps. I love boobs too, Mac. Rack. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Knockers. Simple knockers. I can't believe you didn't get that. Cakes, Jaffa cakes. Smashing orangey bit in the middle. Do you get it? Okay. Cakes. Okay. Jelly jugglers. Oh, fucking hell, yeah. Crowns. Oh, this is a brilliant game. Peaches. My dinner, says Julia. Oh, it's nice to look at you. Chest. Okay, that's just silly. Chests and breasts are just, Pink drops. Dagmas. Good. Playtimes. Chocolate chips. Zipper tits. And bazoomas. Breasts. And fun bags. I never heard that. Battleships. I like that. Destroyers. Chesticles. Well, you know what happens if you've got like chest nuts on your chest. Yeah. You get chestnuts, don't you? Yeah. So what happens if you get nuts on your chin? I'm not going to say that joke. Anyway. Okay, Legoland's highlights, Twin Towers, Top Gear, Pointers, Space Warmers, Moves, Crucifix Candy. Ooh. So we're having fun. And I got you all to think about boobs as well. Okay, or tits, or jugs, or Twin Peaks, or all them other lovely names. Okay. Right, that's enough now. Stop that. We're doing some more truthing for a little bit. Okay, let's have a look at some giants, and then I'm gonna round this off because it's coming at 3 hours, and my brain can't take it. Quadruple flat thumbs, Martin. Great show. Thank you to Tiny Truthage. There's my son. Go for me, Janine. All of you. Oh, Fancy Nancy and grocery store. Son of Overbrook's in the house. Chris is in the house. Whew, so many of you. Right, I'm going to share some stuff for a minute. All right. Martini, Fantini, Esquire. 700 of you still in the house on a Flatearday night for a crazy ride, which it has been, hasn't it? Okay. So, next, which was it? I'm sorry, I've got lost a bit. Giants. Let's have a look at some giants for a minute. Well, I'll be back right now. Okay, giants. Doing titty things now. Wobbles. Best flat day ever. You know it. You're nutters. Torpedo. Floppy. Melon. Look. Some Bristols. Did anyone say mammalians? Oh, you lot are fucking mental. I can't even believe you are joining. That was good. Next week will be good with penises. Do your research. Let's speak up as many fucking names for penises as you possibly can by next week, okay? I want hundreds. Yeah? They were pretty good, though. They were pretty good. Hooters is brilliant. Yes, Isabella. It's still, like... trying to do any research. You keep coming up with names for tits. It's really not easy. So they tell you pretty much about it in the lyrics, the whole narrative, which I covered at the beginning of this vlog. They come from the sky, the Phoenicians. And the lyrics of Children of the Sea from the Tavistock Institute, given by the backside, but definitely I lost them. So in the misty morning, on the edge of time, we lost the rising sun, the final song. As the misty morning rolls away by, reaching the stars, blind the sky. We sailed across the air before we learned. We thought that we could never end. We glide above the ground before we learned to rise. Now it seems our world is flying around. Oh, they say that it's over and it's just has to be. Oh, they say it's over. We are just lost children. We may mountains shake with laughter as we say, hiding in our corner of the world. Then we did a demon dance for the rest of the episode. Threw away the key and locked the door. Oh, they say it's over. Yeah, they say it just had a beat. Yes, they say it's over with our lost children. Look out at the end, says the sky is falling down. Look out, spinning round and round. Look out, the sun is going black. Look out, never ever coming back. And that's what they tell you, very eerie thing, because they nailed it on the Phoenician side. But, you know, they sailed the skies. And we see that. There's no difference between sailing ships and plane anyway. Planes work on exactly the same technology, fluid dynamics as ships sail. There's no difference. Same thing. So thank you all for coming by. Still 660 of you. I'm going to give you all a few shouts. I'm going to be cutting out soon. It's just come at a 3-hour mark. It's been a long vlog. There's been a stack of information in there. And I do hope you enjoyed. We had a fantastic I look forward to this one. there's been so much juicy information. And then books, I know I've cross-referenced for you, and I've just given you the bullet points and stuff, but I can't read them all to you. We haven't got all that time. And I've missed half this blog out anyway, because we'd be up till like another 3 hours, and I can't do that to you. Plus, like, I'm getting, sick of my own voice. This is why I do so much research. It stops the chatter in my brain, so I keep like incredibly busy with research. My son will tell you, and I see it as a mission to be able to crack all of this code as a sort of like legal case, if you like. Plus, them because I'm not happy one bit about the whole show. Fucking stupid. You retarded. You fuck off with it all. Yeah. Fucking taxes when they just print money off. They're just torturing everyone. Anyway, let's give you all a shout. Thank you, Scoop, for coming by. King Shin. Boobers. Copy. Yes, next week we'll think of new words to educate ourselves and expand our vocabulary. We will take this out into the wider world of YouTube. If anybody doesn't know what the words of Samantha, here we go again. Peter. Mike is being goofy. Is there? Oh yeah. All right, then I'm gonna cut out now. Then. Anyway, peace and love to you all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video if you did, and I will be back in a very short time. Keep an eye on my community page. Support me in any way you can, and I love you all very much. Double fat thumbs to Infinity Christ. I gotta go. Sound. Much love, Dragon. Love all. Epic.